Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. My dear students, you people have written grand test number 4 in the morning session. Once we should analyze this question paper, Amma. So, question number 92, match the column. A. Ophiura, calcareous ossicles. Actually, the common name of Ophiura is brittle star. Ophiura belongs to the phylum Echinodermata. Presence of calcareous ossicles is one of the basic feature of phylum Echinodermata. A4. B. Ascaris, roundworm, obviously. The common name of Ascaris is roundworm. B1. C. Bangaras. 2. Epidermal scales. Why? Because the common name of Bangaras is cray. Bangaras belongs to the class Reptilia. Presence of epidermal scales or scutes. Presence of epidermal scales or scutes is one of the basic feature of Reptilia. And D. Columba. The common name of Columba is Pigeon, and obviously 3 pneumatic bones. Columba belongs to the class Aves. Presence of pneumatic bones. Pneumatic bones andre long bones with air cavities. Long bones with air cavities are called pneumatic bones. Presence of pneumatic bones is one of the feature of class Aves. So answer is 3. A4, B1, C2 and D3. Coming to question number 93. In frog, medulla oblongata passes through dash and continues as spinal cord. In frog, medulla oblongata passes through a pore called foramen magnum. In frog, medulla oblongata passes through foramen magnum. Later, medulla oblongata continues as spinal cord. Keep it in your mind. 93, answer 1. Next, question number 96. Question number 96, zoology relevant question. Which of the following is most appropriate for the part of human brain with a pneumotaxic center? Option 3. Pneumotaxic center is located in pons varoli. Pneumotaxic center is located in pons varoli of brain. Basically, pons varoli includes tract of fibers. Pons varoli includes tract of fibers which connect different regions of the brain. Pons varoli pneumotaxic center is located in pons varoli of brain. Pons varoli includes tract of fibers which connect different regions of the brain. That's why go through option 3. So its fiber tracts interconnect different regions of the brain. 96, answer 3. Question number 98. Choose correct statement related to luteal phase. Choose correct statement related to luteal phase. A. Luteal phase is also known as a secretory phase. Absolutely correct. Luteal phase is also known as secretory phase. B. Testosterone levels rise which cause follicular development in luteal phase. Wrong. Testosterone is a male sex hormone. Menstrual cycle occurs in female human being. No relation between them. B. Incorrect. C. Corpus luteum secretion takes place during luteal phase. Absolutely correct. D. During luteal phase, corpus luteum secretes progesterone hormone. 100% correct. A, C and D are correct. E. It lasts longer in a woman using hormonal oral contraceptives. No relation between them. So A, C and D are correct. Answer is 4. 98, answer 4. Next, 99. Which of the following methods of contraception do not interrupt gametogenesis? Which of the following methods of contraception do not interrupt gametogenesis and also coitus? Answer C and F. Sterilization and cervical caps. Sterilization contraceptives like tubectomy and vasectomy and cervical caps. Cervical caps belong to reusable barriers. These two contraceptive methods do not show their effects on gametogenesis and coitus. So option E answer is 2. 100 question number. Which of the following is written after the scientific name and is often abbreviated? Obviously, author citation. After species name, we should write scientist name either in full or in abbreviated form. Basically, first we should write genus, next species. Scientific name includes two names. Number one, genus. Second one, species. While writing in English, genus name must be started with capital letter and species name must be started with small letter. So after species name, we should write author name or we should write scientist name either in full or in abbreviated form. Answer is 3. And question number 1 or 2. So observe the given picture showing countercurrent mechanism in the loop of Henle of human kidney and choose option with correct description for A, B, C and D. My dear students, here A represents water. Why? Because the label A indicates descending limb of Henle's loop. Label A represents descending limb of Henle's loop. So here descending limb of Henle's loop shows permeability to water but impermeability to electrolytes. Descending limb of Henle's loop shows permeability to water but impermeability to electrolytes. A, water. And B represents sodium chloride. Why? Because basically label B indicates thick ascending limb of Henle's loop. Label B indicates thick ascending limb of Henle's loop. So in case of thick ascending limb of Henle's loop, sodium chloride diffuses from primary urine into medullary interstitium by active transport. In case of label B indicates thick ascending limb. In case of thick, THICK, in case of thick ascending limb, sodium chloride diffuses from primary urine into medullary interstitium by active transport. So label C represents urea. Why? Because label C indicates collecting duct. So here collecting duct allows small quantities of urea. Collecting duct allows small quantities of urea into medullary interstitium to maintain osmolarity. And D represents 1200 milliosmol per liters. Okay. So here osmolarity ranges from 300 m osmol per liters in cortex to about 1200 milliosmol per liters in inner medullary interstitium. Answer is 1. A, water, B, sodium chloride, C, urea and D, 1200 milliosmol per liters. 1 or 3. Which steroid hormone increases glomerular filtration rate by increasing blood pressure? No ambiguity at all. Accurate option is aldosterone. Aldosterone is a kind of steroid hormone. Aldosterone hormone increases glomerular filtration rate and also increases glomerular blood pressure. Next, 105. Observe the given picture and choose the option with correct description for it. So basically, the given diagram represents salamander. The given diagram represents salamander. Salamander belongs to the class Amphibia. So D, it shows incomplete double circulation, obviously, because salamander belongs to the class Amphibia. We can see incomplete double circulation in Amphibia. And E, oviparous and poikilotherium, no change at all. Salamander belongs to the class Amphibia. Basically, amphibians are oviparous. Why? Because amphibians lay eggs. And amphibians are cold-blooded or poikilothermic animals. Answer is 2. C, D and E. Question number 107. Which of the following animals have water vascular system? Obviously, answer is 3, Asterius. The common name of Asterius is starfish. Asterius or starfish belongs to the phylum Echinodermata. presence of water vascular system is one of the basic feature of phylum Echinodermata. So 107 answer 3. 108 botany question and 109 match the column. Glomerulonephritis answer 4 kidney damage. Glomerulonephritis andre inflammation of glomerulus. If it is untreated, it leads to kidney damage. Glomerulonephritis means inflammation of glomerulus. If it is untreated, it leads to kidney damage. It means indirectly we can say like glomerulonephritis causes kidney damage. A 4. B. Rheumatoid arthritis. 3. Paralysis of skeletal muscle. And B. Myasthenia gravis. Paralysis of skeletal muscle. B3. C. Rheumatoid arthritis. 1. Inflammation of joints. The major difference between rheumatoid arthritis and gout is just inflammation of joints is represented as rheumatoid arthritis, but inflammation of joints due to the deposition of uric acid crystals in joints represented as gout. And D. Addison's disease. Addison's disease is one of the disorder of adrenal cortex. Answer is 2. A 4, B 3, C 1 and D 2. A. Glomerulonephritis, kidney damage 4. B. Myasthenia gravis 3. Paralysis of skeletal muscle. C. Rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation of joints 1. D 2. Addison's disease, disorder of adrenal cortex. And 110. Assertion. The intensity of uterine contractions. The intensity of uterine contractions increases during parturition. Obviously correct. The intensity of uterine contractions increases during parturition by oxytocin hormone. Assertion is correct. Reason. Parturition is induced by complex neuroendocrine mechanism involving progesterone, cortisol, oxytocin, androgens. My dear students, no involvement of androgens. Androgens are male sex hormones. They do not play any role in initiation of parturition. Andre, here assertion is correct, reason is incorrect. Answer is 4. Next. Question number 113. Which of the following disorder is characterized by the enlargement of thyroid gland and increased secretion of thyroid hormones? So directly you people have to cast your vote to Graves' disorder. Graves' disorder is otherwise known as exophthalmic goiter. Graves' disorder is also known as exophthalmic goiter. Graves' disorder or exophthalmic goiter is caused by hyperthyroidism due to cancer, due to development of nodules in thyroid gland. Due to cancer and due to development of nodules in thyroid gland, follicular cells secrete large amounts of T3 and T4. This condition is said to be hyperthyroidism. Due to cancer and due to development of nodules in thyroid gland, follicular cells secrete large amounts of T3 and T4. This condition is hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism leads to a disease called Graves' disorder or exophthalmic goiter. Answer is 1. 114. Which of the following processes is carried out only by bacteria? 3. Biogas production. Biogas production will be done by anaerobic bacteria or methanogenic bacteria or methanogens. Answer is 3. Question number 116. Statement 1. Insects exhibit adaptation for flight. 100% correct. Statement 2. Wings of birds and wings of insects represent convergent evolution. Why? Because in case of convergent evolution, so wings of birds and wings of exhibit dissimilar structure and origin but perform similar functions. In case of birds and in case of insects, wings exhibit dissimilar structure and origin, but in both birds and insects, wings are responsible for flight. So hence it comes under analogous organs. Analogous organs explain one biological phenomenon called convergent evolution. Statement 1, statement 2, both are correct. Answer is 1. So question number 117. A gene locus in a rabbit. In a gene locus in a rabbit population has two alleles, namely capital B and small b. If the frequency of dominant allele capital B is 0.2, then what will be the frequency of homozygous recessive, homozygous dominant and heterozygous individuals respectively in that population? See, Amma, as per given question, frequency of dominant allele P. So we can represent it as P. So P is 0.2. Frequency of recessive allele, they didn't mention. Small b they didn't mention. We have to find out Q value. Amma, represent or consider capital B as P. So they have given P value 0.2. Consider recessive small b as Q. They did not mention Q. So that's why first we have to find out the value of Q. As per Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, P plus Q is equal to 1. Already we knew the value of P. Find out the value of Q. So we can write Q is equal to 1 minus P. Q is equal to 1 minus 0.2. So Q is equal to 0.8. Here they are asking, find out frequency of homozygous recessive genotype. Homozygous recessive frequency of, find out the frequency of homozygous recessive genotype. Frequency of homozygous recessive genotype is represented as Q square. So we have to find out the value of Q. So here Q square andre Q into Q. Q value is 0.8. 0.8 into 0.8. Answer 0.64. Q square is 0.64. Our frequency of homozygous recessive genotype is 0.64. Then find out the frequency of homozygous dominant genotype. Find out the frequency of homozygous dominant genotype. Frequency of homozygous dominant genotype is represented as P square. Same strategy apply here. P into P. We knew the value of P. P, already they have given the value of P. 0. Into 0.2. Answer is 0.04. So P square is equal to 0.04. Our frequency of homozygous dominant genotype is 0.04. Then find out the frequency of heterozygous dominant genotype. Frequency of heterozygous dominant genotype. Find out the frequency of heterozygous dominant genotype. The frequency of heterozygous dominant genotype is represented as 2pq. So 2 into P value is 0.2 and Q value is 0.8. Answer should be 0.32. So here Q square 0.64, P square 0.04 and 2pq 0.32. That's why go through option 3. 118. Which of the following statements is true about respiration in humans? Obviously option 2. High PO2, that is 104 mm of Hg in alveolar air, causes binding of oxygen with hemoglobin. In alveoli, PO2 is about 104 mm Hg, millimeters of mercury pressure. In alveoli, PO2 is high. How much? 104 mm Hg. Due to high PO2 in alveoli, hemoglobin binds with oxygen, 4 molecules of oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin. Answer is 2. And next, question number 121. Choose incorrect statement about hemophilia. So no ambiguity at all. Answer is 3. Typhoid Mary and her male descendants died due to this disease. No relation. Queen Victoria was a carrier for this disease. Understood. So incorrect option is 3. And 123. Which of the following is an extinct aquatic reptile? So extinct aquatic reptile is obviously Ichthyosaurus. Answer is 2. Problem, sir? Okay. Next. Next one. 128. Which of the following parts open into the cloaca of a female frog? No ambiguity. Answer is 2. Urinary bladder, ureters and rectum. These 3 open into cloaca. One more important instruction. Along with urinary bladder, ureters and rectum, even oviducts also open into cloaca. Answer is 2. Next, 130. Choose incorrect statement about skeletal muscle fiber. Option 1 is incorrect. Thin filament of myofibril consists of only 2 G-actin molecules. Wrong. Each thin filament includes 2 F-actin molecules. 2 F-actin molecules are arranged helically to each other. Each thin filament includes 2 F-actin molecules. 2 F-actin molecules are arranged helically to each other. Each F-actin is composed of several G-actin molecules. Several G-actin molecules. So F-actin molecules are the polymers of G-actin molecules. F-actin molecules are the polymers of G-actin molecules. So answer is 1. Next. 132. 132. Statement 1. Postsynaptic potentials are not generated if the receptors for neurotransmitters on the postsynaptic membrane are blocked in a chemical synapse. Postsynaptic potentials are not generated if the receptors for neurotransmitters on the postsynaptic membrane are blocked in a chemical synapse. Absolutely correct. Statement 2. In myasthenia gravis, sensory neurons fail to produce acetylcholine into neuromuscular junction. Incorrect. Not sensory neuron, amma, that is motor neuron. Here statement 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect. Answer is 3. 134. Maintenance of public hygiene, such as proper disposal of excreta, is a measure for control of many infectious diseases. Which of the following pairs of diseases are controlled by such measure? Obviously, amoebiasis and typhoid. Amoebiasis and typhoid, because mode of transmission of amoebiasis and typhoid is same, by contaminated food and water. Answer is 2. 136. No ambiguity. Direct statement summa. Gift. Gift stands for gamete intrafallopian transfer. So your accurate matching is 2. Transfer of donor ovum into fallopian tube. B3. IUT. IUT stands for intrauterine transfer. So transfer of embryo into uterus. C. GIFT. GIFT stands for zygote intrafallopian transfer. C1 namma. Transfer of early embryo into fallopian tube. Early embryo is nothing but zygote. Transfer of early embryo or transfer of zygote into fallopian tube considered as GIFT, ZIFT. And ICSI 4. Injection of sperm into ovum with the help of microscopic needle. Answer is 1. A, 2, B3, C1 and D4. Next, 138. The immunity that develops by injecting preformed antibodies. The immunity that develops by injecting preformed antibodies is called immunization. Obviously, immunization comes under artificial passive acquired immunity. Immunization comes under artificial passive acquired immunity. Answer is 4. And question number 140. Assertion. Glycosuria and phenylketonuria are the indicators for diabetes mellitus. Wrong. Glycosuria is correct, but not phenylketonuria. Glycosuria and ketonuria both are the indicators for diabetes mellitus. Assertion is incorrect. And reason. Hyposecretion of insulin causes diabetes mellitus. Absolutely correct. Hyposecretion andre lesser secretion. So assertion is correct. Sorry, assertion is incorrect. Reason is correct. Answer is 3. Next. 144. Which of the following hormones bind to membrane bound receptors? Which of the following hormones bind to membrane bound receptors? Basically, protein or peptide hormones can bind with membrane bound receptors. Answer is B, prolactin, C, cholecystokinin, D, FSH, and F, gastrin. B, C, D, F can bind with membrane bound receptors. Answer is 2. 146. Which of the following population interactions is not represented by plus and zero? Amma, plus and zero andre commensalism. The egrets and cattle, balanas and whale, shark and suckerfish or clownfish represent commensalism but not apis and sunflower. Answer is 3. 147. Which of the following given options is a correct description for ECG of a normal human being? So basically P wave represents atrial systole or atrial depolarization. QRS complex represents ventricular systole or ventricular depolarization. T wave represents ventricular diastole or ventricular repolarization. Answer is 2. 148. World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in the year 2002 at Johannesburg. Johannesburg is a direct NCRT statement. Answer is 1. 151. Assertion. Tobacco smoke is chemical carcinogen. 100%. Tobacco smoke, chromium, cadmium, arsenic, all these are chemical carcinogens. Assertion is correct. Next reason. Oncogenic viruses have viral oncogenes which induce oncogenic transformation of normal cells. So reason is also correct, but no relation between them. Reason does not explain assertion. 153. Which of the following are the primary sites for gases exchange? Obviously alveoli. 153 answer 4. 155. The picture given below represents the growth pattern of population. Which of the following is true for the growth pattern of A and B? Here A, it is a density dependent growth pattern as the competition for limiting resources stabilizes the population growth at asymptote. No ambiguity. A is correct. Andre answer 2 is correct. Next 157. Action potential in the atrioventricular node and AV bundle, nothing but AV bundle, of the human heart initiate ventricular systole which lasts for 0.3 seconds. So 0.3 seconds andre ventricular systole. Which of the following is incorrect for this phase? Fourth one is incorrect. Ventricular filling begins due to the opening of AV valves. Ventricular filling begins due to the opening of AV valves is incorrect. 161. The portion of myofibril present between two successive Z lines is called sarcomere. The portion of myofibril present between two successive Z lines is called sarcomere. Sarcomere is the structural and functional unit of myofibril. 163. Which of the following cells of human takes longest duration for completion of cell division during gametogenesis? Obviously primary oocyte. Answer is 3. 165. Statement 1. Even though second trimester abortions are much more riskier, they are advised in case of life threat to pregnant women. Obviously correct. So here amniocentesis in MTP, medical termination of pregnancy in first pregnancy or up to 12 weeks is relatively safe. But medical termination of pregnancy in second trimester becomes riskier. Statement 2. Amniocentesis is a prenatal diagnostic test for genetic disorders of fetus. Both the statements are correct. 166. Sir will explain this. 167. Sir will explain. 168. Cerebral aqueduct is seen in midbrain. In case of human beings, one canal-like structure travels through midbrain called cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct is also known as aqueduct of Sylvius. Now 171. Choose the option with correct sequence of steps involved in RAS mechanism. First E. Fall in glomerular filtration rate. A. Release of renin by juxtaglomerular cells. C. Conversion of angiotensinogen into angiotensin. B. Release of aldosterone. D. Reabsorption of sodium ion and water in the renal tubule. Answer is 2. EACBD. 175. Which of the following characteristic is not common to Locusta columba? Why? Because Locusta belongs to invertebrata, columba belongs to vertebrata. Answer is true. Presence of ventral nerve cord. Basically, in non-chordates, nerve cord or in chordates, nerve cord is single dorsal hollow non-ganglionated. But in non-chordates, nerve cord is double ventral solid ganglionated. Locusta is non-chordate and next one, columba is chordate. Basically in chordates, nerve cord is single dorsal hollow non-ganglionated in chordates. But in non-chordates, nerve cord is double ventral ganglionated. Next. Remaining questions, one more. Remaining questions come under botany amma. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Sorry, waiting outside. Finished.
So good afternoon, students. Again, it is the fourth day of the grand test series. If you observe the questions now, question number 91. So it is about locations and the respective processes which is going to happen. In the question, they used the word complete oxidation. So complete oxidation going to happen within the mitochondria, that is related to Krebs cycle and the electron transport system. And the major place where complete oxidation means breakdown of the pyruvic acid is happening in the matrix of the mitochondria, that is link reaction and the Krebs cycle. Next, question number 94. Not a characteristic of Monera. So Monera does not contain chitin in their cell wall. Fourth option, if you observe, chitinaceous cell wall is a component related to the fungi. So in the fungi, chitin cell wall is there, whereas in the Monera, which is bacteria, does not have this, chitin. Next, 95. Combination correctly represents euglenoids and slime molds. So euglenoids are having pigments similar like higher plants, that is chlorophyll A and B, and these slime molds generally do not have the cell wall. But once they form the cell wall, once they form the spores, they are having true cellulosic cell wall. So answer is fourth one. Next, question number 97. In the 97, they are saying single pollen grain is sufficient to fertilize a ovule in case of the angiosperms. In the angiosperms, single pollen grain contains two male gametes. One is for syngamy, another one is for triple fusion. That is enough. Whereas in the gymnosperms, within the ovule, many archegonia are there. So one pollen grain is not sufficient. Many pollen grains is needed to fertilize a ovule. So in case of this, angiosperm, one ovule contains only one embryo sac, whereas gymnosperms, one ovule contains many archegonia. So gymnosperms require more pollen grains, angiosperms require only one pollen grain. Both are correct and correct explanation, if you observe. Next, question number 101. So they have given the, particular stages. First itself you can find sporophyte dependent on gametophyte. That is a character of bryophytes. So in the bryophytes, mosses are there, liverworts are there. Dimorphism in the gametophyte they mention. See in the mosses, earlier stage of gametophyte is protonema. After that it will be developed into leafy stage. We can call it as dimorphic. Two different stages are there. So this is the character related to the mosses. And elaborate spore dispersal mechanism, development of the sporophyte, all these are mosses characters. Next, 104. A petiole leaf with a single continuous rachis bearing numeral lateral appendages in the paids. So rachis andre on the clear agut. That is pinnately compound leaf. Example is knee. Remaining thing is to confuse you, they have given like that. Next, 106. Developing roots, the cells undergo secondary wall thickening is happening. In which phase? It is actually elongation phase, but completed in case of this region of maturation. Next, 108. Correctly ATP synthesis in plants. So ATP synthesis related, first one, that is a photophosphorylation in the chloroplast, it is occurring. Second one, oxidative phosphorylation occurring in the mitochondria, it is also there. Substrate level phosphorylation in the stroma. Stroma does not undergo substrate level phosphorylation. C is not there. A, B, D are the answers. Then, next, 111. So consider during the cell division, how many of these are common? Prophase of mitosis and prophase of meiosis. Meiosis and mitosis, in them, especially in the prophase, which are common. So first one, this is synaptonymal complex in meiosis, not in the mitosis. Disappearance of nuclear membrane, this is common for them. B and E, formation of asteroids also common. F, compaction of the chromosomes. So B, E, F, only three are there. Next, 112. Cellulose is the first one, structural role in the plants. Glycogen is related to storage polysaccharide in the animals. A1, B2, C3, chitin, N-acetyl galactosamine, correct. Lecithin is a major component of membrane. Lecithin is a phospholipid which is present in the plasma membrane. D4, cholesterol is a steroid, 4-ring structure. You can observe the structure in the biomolecules. So A1, B2, C3, D4 and E5. Next one, 115. template directed polymerization of nucleotides. So based on the template, it is going to synthesize new nucleotides. That is done by transcription by RNA polymerase. RNA polymerase is dependent on template. Polynucleotide phosphorylase is a Severo-Okawa enzyme. It is template independent. Translation is not dependent on the okay, it is template dependent, but is not going to produce the nucleotides. So first is the answer. Next. 120. Replication on 3 to 5 template strand is continuous. Yes. Replication on 5 to 3 is discontinuous. Direct question, you can go through that. Diagram is they have mentioned. 122. So very lengthy question to waste your time. Pest resistance in BT cotton, transgenic pest resistant in tobacco. They are asking BT cotton and the RNA interference related. Second option is the correct one. Next. Select the incorrect for the maize. Remember, maize is a C4 plant. Maize is a C4 plant. In that, which is incorrect? Second one is incorrect. What they are mentioning? PEP in the bundle sheet cells they are mentioning. Actually, PEP is going to produce in the mesophyll cells where C4 pathway is going on. 125. Correct match. Incorrect match they are asking. Second one is incorrect. They are saying dominance is dependent on gene product. No, dominance is not an autonomous feature of a gene. Direct statement. 126. So sequence they are asking. First nucellus. Nucellus will be developed into megaspore mother cell, developed into megaspore tetrad, after that developed into megaspore. So that is C, nucellus is there, MMC, B is there, and megaspore tetrad A is there, and E, functional megaspore embryo sac is there, E, D. So CBAED sequence, that is the third one. So they had given the sequence, there are different types of characters they had given. If you observe colorful flowers they had given. Floral plots are safe landing platform, nectar producing glands, all those are to attract the insects, that is entomophily. Yesterday also I told you, pollination by water is called hydrophily, pollination by wind is called anemophily, pollination by insects is called entomophily. Next one, HGP related, direct question, this one also, A, D, E is the answer. Next, 131, cyclic in nature, directly involved in ATP synthesis. So, they are given 4 pathways which is cyclic and also involved in the, directly involved in ATP synthesis. First one, photophosphorylation occurring in stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae, what is happening? Cyclic photophosphorylation. It is going to produce ATP. A correct. Kelvin is a cycle. Kelvin cycle is there, but it is not going to produce ATP. It consumes ATP. B is not there. Krebs cycle, yes, it is a cyclic manner and it produces ATP. So, A and C, only the answers. Next one, virus infected plants. From that, we have to produce virus free plants. Meristem culture. So, shoot tip culture, first option. Next, 135, thermostable enzyme will be used in Taq polymerase, PCR, A4, inactivated blue-white screening technique, that is beta-galactosidase. B1, enzyme used in DNA as a transforming principle, DNase, every MacLeod-McCarthy experiment. C2, enzyme involved in RNA synthesis without template, polynucleotide phosphorylase. Just now I told you, Severo-Okawa enzyme, that is 135, fourth option. Next, 137, non-albuminous seed is going to be groundnut, A3, albuminous seed is going to be maize, B4, and it is going to be the first option. Next, 139, not a component of transcription unit, inducer. Inducer is not a component of transcription unit. Transcription unit contains 3 parts, promoter, structural gene and the terminator. Next, 141, directly you can match it off. Next, 143, not directly dependent on sunlight they are asking. So, reduction of CO2 in stroma, that is a dark reaction. First option is the answer. It is not directly related, indirectly dependent. Next one, NADH is oxidized to NAD plus during all except. So, NADH becoming NAD plus. The 4 options among the 3 it is happening, 1 is not there. What is that? Fourth option. In fourth option, pyruvic acid is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A. In this process, reverse going to class happen, NAD plus will become NADH plus H plus. But they are asking reverse, so this is going to be the answer. Next one, ma. So, next page. 150. Correct and correct explanation, ma. In Ascon basidiomycetes, dikaryotic phase is there because plasmogamy not immediately followed by karyogamy. 152. So one is getting oxidized, one is getting reduced. What is getting oxidized? By removal of the electrons, that is cytochrome C. Fourth complex related, cytochrome C donates the electrons. So that cytochrome C is getting oxidized and the electrons are finally given to oxygen. So 152, answer is third one. Next 154, polypeptide, sugar and polynucleotide. They are given the list. Polypeptide is a protein repressor, sugar is a inducer, lactose, whereas polynucleotide, that is operator. Next one, 156, identify mismatch they are asking. First option is mismatch. Rubisco, they mentioned polysaccharide. It is actually polypeptide protein. Next. So 156 answer is the first one, because it is not a polysaccharide. Next 155, mixotropic nutrition. Only one organism in the entire syllabus, Euglena. Dioecious in nature. It is a cycas, male flower, male cone on the one plant, female cone on the another plant. Presence of ray and dischlораtes. It is a families related question. It is one important point you should remember. Ray and dischlораtes are present in sunflowers. Environmental heterophily you can observe in the buttercup. Next 159. Water soluble nutrients are removed, that is leaching. Direct question. Cofactor tightly bound. Who is going to bind tightly? It is going to be prosthetic group. 162, they are showing the experiment. Which is that experiment? Oxygen discovery experiment. That is a phototropism induced by auxin. Next 164, they are given 4 options. You have to find plants carry out respiration. Correct. Glycerol enter into respiratory pathway at pG level. Yes, correct. AS, BS, NADH and FADH yield same amount of energy. No. NADH 3 ATP, FADH 2 ATP. So third one is no. ATP produced during glycolysis by substrate level phosphorylation. Yes. S, S, no, S. Next. Next statement is going to be 169. So to amplify the DNA, they are saying amplification means directly you can go for the PCR. 170, auxin and cytokinin complementary affect each other. They hand in hand, they will go for the cell division. Opposite, they will go for the apical dominance. Third option. Next 172, RNA found in all the following structures except ribosomes. No. RNA found in all the following structures except vacuole. So 172, answer is 3. It is not found in the vacuole. 173, alpha-1 antitrypsin used in the treatment of emphysema. 174, so genetic code nature, see human insulin gene is expressed in bacteria. In the rDNA technology, Eli Lilly company taken the insulin gene, transferred into E. coli. In the E. coli also the gene produced the insulin, because genetic code is universal. For all the organisms it is almost universal. So fourth option is correct. 176, EcoRI. First 3 letters. First letter indicates the genus, second 2 is going to relate the species. Next 177. What they are asking? Correct statements they are asking. A is correct because scutellum is a cotyledon. And B is incorrect because it is not inferior ovary, it should be superior ovary is there. Next C is correct. Plum, peach, rose are the perigynous flowers. Argemone, parietal placentation. So A, C, D are the answers. 178, this is also lengthy question. Regarding ferns they are asking. Ferns are related to pteridophytes. So sporangia born on specialized reefs called sporophylls. Correct. A correct. Gametophyte. Prothallus is usually dependent on sporophyte for nutrition. No. Prothallus is independent living. In pteridophytes, gametophytes, sporophyte both are free living. Later gametophyte started depending on, what do you say, this sporophyte. That is it not occur in the ferns, it is occurring heterosporous plants like Selaginella and Salvinia. So B is incorrect. C, Fertilization, presence of water due to motile male gametes. Correct. Motility is there. Dominant phase of life cycle is haploid. No. Dominant phase of life cycle is sporophytic phase, that is diploid. So A correct, C correct. True root, stem and leaves are present on sporophyte. E also correct. E, F is not correct. Only 3 are correct here. Next, 179. Not correctly matched. So, fourth option is not correctly matched. Actually, lipids are not from Golgi, they are from the SCR. They mention reverse. Protein coat of virus is called capsid. So, that's all for now. It is simple but lengthier question paper. We'll meet in the tomorrow's question paper discussion. Until then, go through the mistake what you have done in this paper. Try not to repeat them. Thank you.
Hello all. Let's today understand the questions from grand test number 4. Here is the first question, 46. 1.25 grams of a sample of sodium carbonate and sodium sulfate. ಈ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಎರಡೂ ಅದಾವೆ. ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಇದು 1.25 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ 250 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಇದು 250 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 25 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 25 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ 20 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ 0.05 ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ಬೇಕು. ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ is not disturbed by sulfuric acid. Therefore, we need to focus on sodium carbonate here. ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು 25 ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೇವಲ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ ಮೋಲಾರಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಮೊಲಾರಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಅದು ನೋಡಿದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಚರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ 1.25 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್, ಎರಡಿನ ಮಾಸ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಏನಂತ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ವಿಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ how much molar of sodium carbonate has really reacted in this particular reaction with sulfuric acid, because sodium sulfate does not react with sulfuric acid anyway. So A1 M1 V1 equals A2 M2 V2. A1 when we consider 2 into molarity, when we consider it is to be calculated, volume is 25, A2 2 into molarity 0.05, volume when we consider volume is 20 milliliter. Okay, molarity equals 2 into 0.05 into 20 divided by 25 into 2. ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ M1 ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ you can say 5 into 10 power minus 2 into 40 by 50. This in this gets cancelled for 10 times, 10 in this for 4 times, so it is 4 into 10 power minus 2, which is 0.04 molar. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಮೊಲಾರಿಟಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಆ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಮೊಲಾರಿಟಿ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮಾಸ್ W2 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಮಾಸ್ ಇಂಟು 1000 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅನ್ನುವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಹಾಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. 0.04 molar mass divided by molar mass, which is 106 into 1000 divided by 250, 4 times 0.04 molar into 106 divided by 4 is mass of the sample. So this in this gets cancelled for 0.01, which means 1.06 grams. So mass of a sodium carbonate in the sample is 1.06. Now we need to calculate the percentage. To calculate the percentage of sodium carbonate, mass of sodium carbonate
divided by mass of mixture into 100. Mass of sodium carbonate is 1.06, 1.25 into 100. And if we simplify that, we'll get approximately 84.8%, which is option number 1. So, ee tara idanna solve madbeku. Let's go to another question. 47. Question 47 nalli statement 1. According to Dobereiner's law of triads, the atomic weight of the middle element is approximately the arithmetic mean of the atomic weights of the other two elements. Idu correct statement. Amele, according to the IUPAC systematic nomenclature for elements with atomic number greater than 100, the element with atomic number 114 is named unquadium. Adu kuda correct. With the temporary symbol UUQ. Statement 3. The correct increasing order of basic character for the given third period metal and metalloid oxides is how much? So, I mean, is it correct or no, order or not? Another question. ನಾವು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಿಲಿಕಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈ 4 ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಸೈಜ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಸೈಜ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸೈಜ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್, metallic character decreases, metallic character decreases. As a result, what also decreases is, basic character. Therefore, the order should be like this, but it is given in the reverse. So, statement 1 and 2 are correct but not 3. So, option 1 is correct answer. Next question. The energy of an electron in the first Bohr orbit of the hydrogen atom is minus 13.6 electron volt. The magnitude of energy value of an electron in the first excited state of beryllium plus 3 is how many electron volts? In order to calculate this, we use the formula energy of nth orbit equals minus 13.6 n square into z square. Minus 13.6 divided by n square. N square, when we consider, it is actually the first excited state. Beryllium plus 3 ge configuration 1s1. Excited state andre second level. So, second level ke now find out madbeku. So, 2 square into z square. Beryllium atomic number 4. So, 4 square. That means 4 is gone. 13.6 into 4, which is 54.4 electron volt. They only asked for the magnitude and the second option is correct. 49th question. 2s. ಈಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಡಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಡಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರೇಡಿಯಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರು ಅವೇ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ n minus l minus 1. ಆಂಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ನೋಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರು ನೋಡಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರು ಒಂದೇ L. ಈಗ ಈ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಇದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ನಮಗೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದಿ ಅದರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗೋಣ. 2s 2sಗೆ n minus l minus 1 ಮತ್ತು l ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು? 2 minus 0 minus 1, 1. And it is 0. So, one spherical node or one radial node and 0 angular nodes, nodal planes. Therefore, that matches with the fourth one. So, A is 4. B, 3s. 3s ki n minus L minus 1. 3 minus 0 minus 1, 2. L value is 0. Therefore, 2 comma 0. 2 comma 0 is on C. Therefore, 3. Moving on to C. 3p, when we consider 3p is 3 minus 1 minus 1, which is 1, and p is 1. Therefore, 1 comma 1. 1 comma 1 is 2. Therefore, second one. Third, D. 4D. 4 minus 2 minus 1, 1. And then 2. Therefore, we have here 1 and 2 because D, L value is 2. And hence, we will be left with 1. As a result, the matching is A4, B3, C2, D1. Option number 4 is correct answer. Question number 50. Statement 1. On Pauling scale, electronegativity of fluorine is 4.0. ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಪಾಲಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋರಿನ್ಗೆ 4 ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋನೆಗೇಟಿವಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಅಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 2. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋನೆಗೇಟಿವಿಟಿ ವಿತ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಸೈನ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಡೌನ್ ದ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋನೆಗೇಟಿವಿಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸೇ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. So next one, 51. So option 2 is correct answer. 51. 29 minus, ಇದು material question. 29.2 minus 20.2 into 1.79 into 10 power 5 divided by 1.37. Therefore, the subtraction is 0.9.0 here. ಅದು ಮಾಡುವ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಕೂಡ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ 9.0 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು 1.79 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್. ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ 2 ಬರಬೇಕು. ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಫಿಗರ್ಸ್ 2 ಬರಬೇಕು. Therefore, the answer is 2. Option 2 is correct answer. 52nd question. Pair of species among the following having same bond order as well as paramagnetic character. Same character, same bond order ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ same number of electrons ಇರಬೇಕು. O2 minus N2 plus ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. O2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 8s are 16 and then 16 plus 1 17. N2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 7s are 14 minus 1 13. Number of electrons same ಇಲ್ಲ. So magnetic character ಮತ್ತು bond order same ಇರಲ್ಲ. Next one, O2 plus and N2 minus 2. O2 plus ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 2 8s are 16 minus 1 15 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. N2 minus 2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 into 7 14 plus 2 16 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಎರಡು ಕೂಡ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್, O2 minus and N2 minus ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ O2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 8s are 16 plus 1 17 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. N2 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2 7s are 14 plus 1 15 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕೂಡ we don't get that. So let's go to the next part then. Then we will talk about O2 plus and N2 minus. Here we get 2 8s are 16 plus minus 1 15. 2 7s are 14 plus 1 15. Therefore, option 4 is correct answer. 53. IF3 is T-shaped. IF3 is T-shaped. So we have sp3d hybridization. We need to verify that. ಇದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ atomina group number 17, which means valence is 7, which is -3, therefore 4, ekandre 4 univalent, 4, 3 univalent, so 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 andre 2 lone pairs, 3 bond pairs, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 andre sp3d hybridization. Then the shape is trigonal bipyramidal geometry ದಿಂದ ತರಬೇಕು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್, 2 ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಟ್ರಿಗನಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಈಕ್ವಿಟೋರಿಯಲ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್. So we get T shape which is 90 degree. I mean exactly not 90 degree, but it's T shape, so that's correct. IF5, first one is correct. Second one ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. IF5. IF5 ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇದು ಕೂಡ 7 minus 5, 2 electrons, ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್, 5 ಬಾಂಡ್ ಪೇರ್ಸ್, which means 5 plus 1 is 6, so sp3d2 hybridization. sp3d2 hybridization ಬಂತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ಶೇಪ್ ಆಕ್ಟಾಹೈಡ್ರಲ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಆಕ್ಟಾಹೈಡ್ರಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಪೇರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಪಿರಮಿಡಲ್ ಶೇಪ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಸೊ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ. IF7 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 7 minus 7 is 0, pentagonal bipyramidal shape. ಈ ಪೆಂಟಾಗನಲ್ ಬೈಪಿರಮಿಡಲ್ ಶೇಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ sp3d3 ಹೈಬ್ರಿಡೈಸೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ. ClO4 ಮೈನಸ್, ಇದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ClO4 ಮೈನಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ 7 plus negative charge 1, which is equal to 8 minus 4 2s are 8, which means 0 lone pairs, 4 bond pairs. 4 bond pairs and 0 lone pairs ತಗೋಬೇಕು. So what we get here is 4 bond pairs and 0 lone pairs ತಗೋಬೇಕು. So what we get here is tetrahedral shape. But the shape given there is sp2d square planar. That's a false statement. Therefore ABC option 3 is correct answer. 54th question ಮಾಡೋಣ. Combustion of 1 mole of benzene is expressed as ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 2 moles of benzene combustion ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ H ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗ್ಮಾ AI into enthalpy of formation of products minus BI into enthalpy of formation of reactants ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. Therefore what we have here is sigma AI into enthalpy of formation of product ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹಾಕಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ it is 48.5 into 6, because 6 carbon dioxide molecules are there, plus we have 3 water molecules which are 3 into 393.5, and then minus, then we have BI enthalpy of reaction, where benzene, enthalpy of formation of benzene is given to be 448.5 plus enthalpy of formation of oxygen is 0, so we need not write that. Therefore 6 into 48.5, 48.5 into 6 is 5 6 are 30, and then 8 6 are 48, 51, 29, 291 minus 393.5 into 2. I made a wrong substitution perhaps. Then waters is 286. I should substitute 393.5 here, and then for 3 it has to be 286. That's correct substitution. Let's solve according to that. Then I get 393.5 into 6. 6 5s are 30, 3 6 are 18, 21, 56, and then that's 23 minus 2361. And we'll also multiply the next part. 286 into 3 again, 6 3s are 18, 25, 6 to 8, 858 is what is here, and then 48.5. If you add all of that, 2361, 858, 858, 48.55, 3267.5. ಇದು 1 ಮೋಲ್ಗೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು 2 ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ 2 into 3267.5. That's 6535. Option 3 is correct answer. 55th questions nodana. Question nodana. Which of the following between pressure and versus volume represents the maximum work done? Idanna nodana. A question. ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುವ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಸೈಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಇದು, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು. ಎರಡನೇ ಕೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೇ ವರ್ಕ್, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಿದಾರಷ್ಟೇ. ಈ ವರ್ಕ್ ಇದು ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಹತ್ತಿರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ವಿ 0. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೂಡ 0, ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ವಿ 0 ಆದರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇಸ್ 0. ವರ್ಕ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಪಿ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ವಿ, ಸೊ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ ಇಸ್ 0. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಈ ಥರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಷ್ಟೇ ವರ್ಕ್ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕೇಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ವರ್ಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಡೆದಿದೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕೆ. ಈ ಏರಿಯಾಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಏರಿಯಾಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಈ ಏರಿಯಾ ಲಾರ್ಜೆಸ್ಟ್. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 4. ಆ ಡಾಟೆಡ್ ಲೈನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಮೋಸ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು. ಈ ಡಾಟೆಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಕೇವಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ಟೋಟಲ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಿಂಗಷ್ಟೇ, ಇದಷ್ಟೇ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಥರ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಷ್ಟೇ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಏರಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಡನ್ನೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಆಪ್ಷನ್. 56th. For the given hypothetical reactions, the equilibrium constants are as follows. So they are given like stepwise equilibrium constants are given. Now we need to calculate the overall. K equals K1 into K2 into K3. Nodidare 1 into 2 into 4. 4 2s are 8 is what we get. Option 2 is correct answer. 57. When a reaction is spontaneous, e power minus delta G naught by RT is greater than 1. That's correct. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಸ್ಪಾಂಟೇನಿಯಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಜಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಆದರೆ ಕೆ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 1. ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಇ ಟು ದ ಪವರ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಜಿ ಬೈ ಆರ್ ಟಿನೇ, ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 1. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ವೆನ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೆ ಸಿ, ದ ನೆಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್. ತಪ್ಪು, ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೈಟ್ ಟು ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ side. When two vessels containing ammonia and ND3 are mixed at equilibrium, N2, D2, NH, D2, ND2H and HD are formed. Correct adu. Ekandre whether reaction is actually dynamic at equilibrium anta helilikke adanna ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಡಿ, CO gas to CO aqueous ratio ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ. All physical and chemical equilibria are dynamic. Correct statement. So A, C, D, E, B ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. 58th question. ಅಮೋನಿಯಾಗೆ ಕಾಂಜುಗೇಟ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಂ ಪ್ಲಸ್ NH4 ಪ್ಲಸ್, ಬೈಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ಗೆ CO3 ಮೈನಸ್ 2, H2Oಗೆ H3O ಪ್ಲಸ್, HFಗೆ F ಮೈನಸ್. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಸ್ಪೀಷೀಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲೆ ಆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲದಾವೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು. ಆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎನ್ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು, ಅದು 2. ಈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಇರೋದು ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು, ಅದು ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್. ಆ ಥರ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. 59. Therefore option 1 is correct answer. Consider the following statements regarding the oxidation states of metals in mixed oxides. Pb3O4 ಅನ್ನೋದೇನಿದೆ ಇದು ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. ಇದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದರೆ 2 moles ಆಫ್ PbO 1 mole ಆಫ್ PbO2 ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಥರ 2 ಸೇರಿ Pb3O4 ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ನಾವು ಗಮನಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇದು ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. 2 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 2. Therefore, obviously ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ +2 ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ +4 ಇದೆ, 2:1 ರೇಷಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 2, ಇನ್ ದ ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಐರನ್ Fe3O4 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Fe3O4 ನಲ್ಲಿ FeO ಪ್ಲಸ್ Fe2O3 ಸೇರಿಸಿ Fe3O4 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದು +2 ಇದು +3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ 8/3ನೇ ಬರೋದು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟೇ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 3 ನೋಡಿದಾಗ Mn3O4 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ 8/3 ಅಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅದು ತಪ್ಪು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ Mn+2 ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ Mn+3 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. therefore you can't, Mn+4 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Therefore what we have is it is obtained from MnO and Mn2O3. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ +3 ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ +2 ಕೆಲವು ಕಡೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ 8/3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಓವರ್ ಆಲ್ 8/3 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. therefore statement 2 is false statement. next one, therefore 1 and 2 correct. 60th question, E0s ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ವಿಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಫಾಲೋವಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಲೋವರ್ SRP ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಹೈಯರ್ SRP ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೋವರ್ SRP ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹೈಯರ್ SRP ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್, ಲೋವರ್ SRP ನಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. therefore zinc can reduce lithium, magnesium and Na+ ಅನ್ನೋದು ತಪ್ಪು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಂಕ್ಗೆ ಲಿಥಿಯಂ, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ, ಸೋಡಿಯಂಗಳಿಗಿಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೈಯರ್ SRP ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ. ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ, ಜಿಂಕ್, ಬಟ್ ಲಿಥಿಯಂ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂಗೆ ಲಿಥಿಯಂಗಿಂತ ಕೂಡ ಹೈ SRP ಇದೆ, ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಜಿಂಕ್ಗಳಿಗಂತೆ ಕೂಡ ಲೋವರ್ SRP ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ B is true. C, lithium can reduce magnesium and zinc but not Na+ is wrong. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಲಿಥಿಯಂಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಿಂತ ಲೋವರ್ SRP ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅದು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಸಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಪ್ಪು. ಡಿ, ಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ +2 ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೈಸ್ ಲಿಥಿಯಂ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವುಗಳಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಕೂಡ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೈಯರ್ SRP ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಂಕ್ಗಿಂತ ಕೂಡ ಲೋವರ್ SRP ಇದೆ. therefore B and D only is correct answer. 61st, semiconductors from the following are: cupric oxide is a semiconductor, Teflon is an insulator, polyacetylene coated with vapors of I2 is a conductor, zinc selenide is a semiconductor, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 12th and 16th group elements ನಿಂದ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. gallium arsenide is a conductor because it 13 and 15 group elements ನಿಂದ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ. silicon is a semiconductor. so A, D, E, F ಈ 4 ಕೂಡ semiconductors. If the molar conductance of M/20 solution of a weak monobasic acid is 25 and an infinite dilution is 250, then the dissociation constant of the acid is how much? ಇದರಗೋಸ್ಕರ dissociation constant ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ what we have to understand here is Ka equals C alpha square by 1 minus alpha ಅನ್ನುವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇದೆ. ಆಲ್ಫಾ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಎಂ ಬೈ ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ನಾಟ್ ಎಂ. ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ಎಂ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ 25, ಲ್ಯಾಂಬ್ಡಾ ನಾಟ್ ಎಂ ಇಸ್ 250, 1/10 which is 0.1. and if I substitute everything there, the concentration of the solution is m/20, which means 1/20 molar, which is 0.05 molar. So 5 into 10 to the power minus 2 into 10 power minus 1 whole square by 1 minus 0.1, which is 5 into 10 power minus 4. If we ignore the denominator, therefore the answer is option number 2. Next question, 63. A cobalt rod is dipped in nickel sulfate solution. When colorless gas with smell of rotten eggs is passed into the solution, which of the following set of statements is true? When we consider cobalt rod here, ಒಂದು cobalt rod ಅನ್ನ ನಿಕೆಲ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಕೊಬಾಲ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಕೆಲ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋವು ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಕೊಬಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ನಿಕೆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡು ಫೇವರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಫೇವರ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ನಿಕೆಲ್ +2 ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಕೋಬಾಲ್ಟ್ +2 ಅಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಎರಡೂ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ. ಸೊ a black PPT settles down that is soluble in aqua regia. ಇದು when we consider it is a correct statement. ಎದಕ್ಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ black PPT nickel sulfide which dissolves in aqua regia. cobalt sulfide ಕೂಡ black PPT ನೇ ಬರೋದು. A bright red PPT settled down when a little ammonium hydroxide solution and DMG are added. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ DMG ಮತ್ತು ಅವು ಹಾಕಿದರೆ NiDMG twice ಅನ್ನುವ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ರೆಡ್ PPT ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿ ಕೂಡ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ರೆಡಾಕ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಯೆಲ್ಲೋ PPT settles down when a solution of potassium nitrite is used. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪೊಟ್ಯಾಷಿಯಂ ನೈಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ K3CO NO2 6 times ಅನ್ನುವ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. therefore yes, that is true. and then K equilibrium is greater than 10^3 ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಹತ್ರ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. therefore K should be equal to 1 or it should be in between 10^-3 to 10^3. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೇ ಕೋಬಾಲ್ಟ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೇ ನಿಕಲ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಬಟ್ ಎರಡು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪ್ರಿಷಿಯಬಲ್ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಎರಡು ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 10^-3 to 10^3 ಇರಬೇಕು. ಗ್ರೇಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 10^3 ಇರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಕ್ವಿಲಿಬ್ರಿಯಂ ಕೂಡ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. therefore ABC is correct statement. 64th question. N-methyl methanamine, ammonia, N-methyl aniline, benzene amine ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ABCD 4 ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅರೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಉಳಿದುದು ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಸೊ ನಾನೇನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ N-methyl methanamine is this compound. ammonia, N-methyl aniline, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೆನ್ಝೀನಮೈನ್. ಬೆನ್ಝೀನಮೈನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎನ್ಲಿನ್. ಇವಿಷ್ಟದಾವೆ. ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 9.3, 9.38, 4.75, 3.27. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡೈಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಅಮೈನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡಿಕೋಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದೇನಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್. ಈ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋವೆಸ್ಟ್ PKB ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ 3.25ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅಮೋನಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸೊನೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸೊನೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಬೆಟರ್ ಬೇಸ್. therefore ಇದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. therefore the correct answer is option 1. 65. On the basis of inductive effect, the order of stability of alkyl carbanions is. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಸೂಪರ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಟೆರ್ಷರೀಸ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಕೈಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಐ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸೂಪರ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. Allyl and benzyl carbanions are more stabilized by inductive effect and not by resonance effect is a wrong statement. Allyl nalli resonance barutte, benzyl nalli resonance barutte. Resonance is dominant compared to inductive. Therefore, statement 1 is correct, statement 2 is false statement. 66th question. Correct order. Consider the following molecules or species ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದು ರೆಸೊನೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ XZY ಈ ಮೂರರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎರಡು ಅದಾವೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಎರಡು ಕಾಣ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಎರಡೂ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಇನ್ವಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಲೆಂತ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು ಎಸಿಟೇಟ್ ಅಯಾನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಎರಡು ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇದ್ದದ್ದು Y ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ XZY ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. 67th question. Methane can be prepared by decarboxylation of sodium ethanoate. Decarboxylation of sodium ethanoate ಅನ್ನ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಇಥನೋಯೇಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದು. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಈ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೋಡಾ ಲೈಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಹೈಡ್ರಾಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಸಿಯಂ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ಸ್ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕಾರ್ಬೊನೇಟ್ Na2CO3 ಅನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದು ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್, coal based electrolysis of sodium acetate and reaction of methyl magnesium bromide with water. ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಂ ಬ್ರೋಮೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ವಾಟರ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಕೂಡ ನಮಗೆ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಬರೋದು ಸಹಜ. ಬಟ್ ಕೋಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಕೋಲ್ ಬೇಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಎಸಿಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿ ಈಥೇನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಸ್ ಬೈ ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಅನ್ನ ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ದ್ವಾರ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಐ ಟೇಕ್ CH2 ಡಬಲ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ CH2, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನನಗೆ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಬರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಇರೋದೇ ಇದು. ಅದು ಸರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗೇ ಈಥೇನ್ ರಿಂದ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಇದು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಎರಡನೇದು ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ನಾನು ಮಿಥೈಲ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅದು ಈಥೇನ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಈಥೇನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಚುರೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕಾರ್ಬನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬೈ ವುಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ 1 ಫಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 3 ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. 68th ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ಟಿ ಏಯ್ತ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಇದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ 2 moles ಆಫ್ NaNH2 ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೋಡಮೈಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ, ಈ HBr ಆ HBr ಡಬಲ್ ಡಿಹೈಡ್ರೋ ಹ್ಯಾಲೋಜಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ NaNH2 ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಈ H ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಈ NH2 ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ Na+ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ CH3 CH CH3 Br ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, NaBr ಹೋಗಿ ಇದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಕಂಪೌಂಡಿನ ಹೆಸರೇನು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೋಡಿ. 1 2 3 1 2 3 ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕೌಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬೆಟರ್. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಿಥೈಲ್ 1 2 3 4 5 6 hexyne, hex 3 ion 2 methyl. Therefore it is option number 1 which is correct answer. So next question, 69. The osmotic pressure of a living cell is 12 atmospheres at 300 Kelvin. Osmotic pressure ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ on the living cell at 300 Kelvin. Pi equals RTC. Osmotic pressure 12 atmosphere, 0.08, temperature 300. In 15 grams of this, we need to calculate the atomic mass of A. They said the strength of sodium chloride solution that is isotonic with the living cell at this temperature is ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಇದನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಪರ್ ಮಿಲಿಲೀಟರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಂದ್ರಲ್ವಾ, ವ್ಯಾಂಟ್ ಹಾಫ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಕೂಡ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಕು ಸೋಡಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ಗೆ 2 ಇಂಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಉಳಿದು ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ. ಇದು 12 ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 0.08 ಇಂಟು 300 ಇಂಟು 2. ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? W2 by M2 into 1000 by 1000 1 ಲೀಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು. ಸೊ ಇದು W2 by M2 ಹಾಕೋಣ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ಇದು 2 ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 6 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್, and then 6 ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಟೈಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ we have 2 by 8 1 by 4 0.25 molar, which means 0.25 moles in 1 liter. And ಅದನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ 58.5 divided by 4, 14.4 gram per liter. Option number 1, approximately 6 gram. So you get 6. Option 1 is correct answer. 70th question. When 1 gram of compounds AB and AB2 are dissolved in 15 grams of water separately, they increase the boiling point of water by 2.7 Kelvin and 1.5 Kelvin respectively. The atomic mass of A is. First ನಾವು ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಆ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರೆಯೋಣ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೆ ಬಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು 2.7 Kelvin. And then we have KB value 0.5. ಅಂದರೆ ಡೆಲ್ಟಾ ಟಿ ಬಿ 2.7, KB value 0.5 into weight of the substance is 1, molar mass of first compound ಅನ್ಕೋ, ಅಂದರೆ M2 or MAB ಅನ್ಕೋ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬರೆದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತು. 1000 divided by 15 grams of water ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದು. ಅವಾಗ MAB ಈ ಕಡೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಿ 1000 divided by 15 into 0.5 into 2.7 ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇದು 500 ಆಗತ್ತೆ. 500 by 15 into 2.7 ಅಂದರೆ 405, 40.5. ಈಗ 40.5 500 ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು? ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ 12.3 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇದರ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್. ಅದನ್ನು ಹಾಗೆ ಇಡೋಣ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ we have 1.5 Kelvin, that is the delta TB value. 0.5 is KB, 1 gram, molar mass of AB2 into 1000 divided by, once again 1.15 gram of water. So MAB2 equals 500 in the numerator, 1.5 into 15 in the denominator, and then we have MAB2 equals 500 divided by 22.5 in the denominator. That means it is 225 5000. So it is 2 times actually, so 450, 50 remains there. Another 500, so 22, that is 450 again. So 22.22. 22.22 is correct. So we have mass of MAB2, mass of A ಅನ್ಕೋ, B ಅನ್ಕೋ, ಅವಾಗ ಮೋಲಾರ್ ಮಾಸ್ A plus 2B. ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ A ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು B ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 2B ಬರುತ್ತೆ. A plus 2B is 22.22. ಇದರದ್ದು A plus B, AB ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ A plus B. ಸೊ 12.3 ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕೂಡ 3 ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ 0. 22 minus 12 is 10. And then we have A value, B. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸಬ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಗೆ ಮಾಸ್ 10 ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಎದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ A plus B equals 12.3 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ A plus 10 equals 12.3, A equals 2.3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Aಗೆ 2.3 ಅಂದರೆ ಅಪ್ರಾಕ್ಸಿಮೇಟ್ಲಿ 23 ಅಂದರೆ 24.8. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 1 is correct answer. Into 10 power minus 1 bardre. So option 1 is correct answer. Let's go to 71st question. The plot of lnk versus 1 by t for the following gives a straight line with a slope of line equal to minus 3.3 into 10 power minus 5 Kelvin. Activation energy for the reaction will be. So in order to calculate this, graph draw madiddu lnk gu 1 by t gu madhyadalli. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರಿಂಗ್ minus EA by R as the slope. ಈ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ಗೆ minus EA by R ಅನ್ನೋದು ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So minus 3 into 10 power minus 5. Minus and minus gets cancelled. Activation ಎನರ್ಜಿಯನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 3 into 10 power minus 5 into 8.3, which is 24 point something. That means option number 4 is correct answer. Next question. 72. Rate constants are given. We need to calculate the activation energy for the given value. And R value is given in calories, which we need to remember. So, what we need to understand here is log K2 divided by K1 equals EA by 2.303 R 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2 is the equation what we have here, and followed by log K2. When we consider K2 is 0.14 divided by 0.04, which is equal to activation energy, which I do not know. So 2.303 into 2 calories. 1 divided by temperature 1 is 500. 1 divided by 700, which is log 14 by 4, which is 3.5, equals EA divided by 4.606 into 700, 500, 200 divided by 35 into 10 to the power minus 4, which is 10 power 2. And then log 3.5 is 0.5441 is what I get, which equals EA divided by 4.606. 2 divided by 3500 is what we get here. So 0.5441 into 4.606 into 3500 divided by 2. If you calculate all of that, you will be getting 4.4 kilocalories. Option 2 is correct answer. Moving on to 73rd question. 73rd question, when we consider XYZ are given in the graph. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು E0 ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂಥ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಇದು. ಇದು ಲೋವರ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಮ್ಯಾಂಗನೀಸ್ಗೂ ಜಿಂಕ್ಗೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಅಯನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಎಂಥಾಲ್ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೋತ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೋ ಕಂಪ್ಯಾರಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ. ದೇರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗನೀಸ್ಗೂ ಜಿಂಕ್ಗೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೊಬಾಲ್ಟ್ಗೂ ಐರನ್ಗೂ ನಮಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 2 is correct answer. 74th question. Which one of the following statements related to lanthanums is incorrect? Europium shows +2 state. Correct ಇದೆ. Basicity decreases as the ionic radius decreases from praseodymium to lutetium. Correct. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸೈಜ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಮೆಟಾಲಿಕ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. All the lanthanums are much more reactive than aluminum. All the lanthanums are not much more reactive than aluminum, but only first half. Second half are as reactive as aluminum. First half are much more reactive than aluminum. Therefore, option 3 is a false statement. Cerium +4 solutions are widely used as oxidizing agent in volumetric analysis is a correct statement because it's a good analytical reagent. In a 75th question ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಆಟಮ್ +3 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ +4 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ +2 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಫೋರ್ತ್ನಲ್ಲಿ 0 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1 ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. 76th question ನೋಡೋಣ. ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ರೋಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕೆನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಹೌದು, ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಲಿಗ್ಯಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ತರಹ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಫ್ ನಿಕೆಲ್ ಇನ್ NiDMg ಇಸ್ 0 ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ DMgಗೆ -2 ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಸೇ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ 0, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ +4. Therefore, option 2 is correct answer. 77. Correct statements regarding alkyl halides among the following are. First statement, alcohols being less polar solvents as compared to water, alcoholic KOH favors elimination with RX. Correct? Low polarity solvents always favor elimination. B. Order of reactivity towards SN1 mechanism is given wrong because ಎರಡನೇ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಫಿನೈಲ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ we need to choose first molecule as less reactive. So statement B is wrong. Non-substituted aryl halides exhibit properties similar to alkyl halides. It is actually not correct because when we consider this one, aryl halides nalli it is very difficult for them to really react. Therefore, they don't show good reactivity as alkyl halides. Non-substituted ano baralla. Nitro substituted as very good reactive. D. Vinyl chloride is an example of haloalkane and allyl chloride is an example of haloalkyne. Wrong again because vinyl chloride is a, when you consider vinyl chloride, it's a haloalkane, but allyl chloride is not actually a haloalkyne. It is also a haloalkene. Now, third statement, last statement, RCI can be prepared by reacting ROH with SOCl2, but ARCl cannot be prepared by reacting AROH with SOCl2 is correct because it's difficult to break benzene and oxygen bond in phenols, but it is easy to break R and Cl bond in alkyl halides. So A and E only, option 3 is correct answer. 78th question, when we consider first reaction alli nitro group anodu NH side ಇರುವ ಬೆನ್ಝೀನ್ ರಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಕಾರಣ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಬೆನ್ಝೀನ್ ರಿಂಗ್ನಲ್ಲಿ NH ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ರಿಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, CO ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟಿಂಗ್, ಈ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಡಿಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟಿಂಗ್, ಇದು ಆಕ್ಟಿವೇಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡಿಬೇಕು, ಆ ಕಡೆ ನಡಿಬಾರ್ದು, ತಪ್ಪು, ಇದು ತಪ್ಪು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಬೆನ್ಸಾಯಿಲ್ ಅಮೈನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಾರ್ಮ್ದೊಂದಿಗೆ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್ ಬರೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟೇ, ಬಟ್ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಮೈನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಅಮೈನ್, ಅದು ತಪ್ಪು. ಥರ್ಡ್, ಗ್ಯಾಬ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಥ್ಯಾಲಿಮೈಡ್ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆರೋಮ್ಯಾಟಿಕ್ ಅಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ತಪ್ಪು. ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. 79th question. The correct increasing order of phenols as per their pKa values. ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಿನಾಲ್ಸ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್ಗೆ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಲೋವೆಸ್ಟ್ pKa ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ರಿಸಾಲ್ಗೆ ಲೋವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಎಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂಗ್ತ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ pKa ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಸೊ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಕ್ರಿಸಾಲ್, ಮೆಟಾಕ್ರಿಸಾಲ್, ಆರ್ಥೋನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್, ಪ್ಯಾರಾನೈಟ್ರೋಫಿನಾಲ್. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 3 ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ CH3CHCOH ಅಂದರೆ ಟೆರ್ಷರಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟೈಲ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಟೆರ್ಷರಿ ಬ್ಯೂಟೈಲ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಅನ್ನ AL ತಗೊಂಡು AL ಹಾಕಿ A+B ಅನ್ನುವ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನ 6 moles ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದು 2 moles ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇದು CH3 2 moles of CH3C thrice O minus Al plus ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ 3 moles ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಗ 6 moles ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಪರ್ 0.02 ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ 6 moles ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ಗೆ 3 moles ಅಂದರೆ 3 × 22.4 ಲೀಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗ 0.02 ಮೋಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಸೊ 3 × 22.4 by 6 × 0.02, 6 ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 times, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ 0.01 times 2.24 liters. Option number, first option is correct. So if you multiply that by 0.01, you should get 0.224 liters. Option 1 is correct answer. ಆನಿಸೋಲ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೂ ಉಪಯೋಗ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಆನಿಸೋಲ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾಗ ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ವಾಟರ್ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಬಾಂಡೇ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ತಪ್ಪಿದು. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಒಂದೇ, ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಒಂದೇ. ದೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನಾಲ್ ಮತ್ತು CH3I. ವಿಲಿಯಮ್ಸನ್ ಈಥರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಥರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಡೈಥೈಲ್ ಈಥರ್ಗೆ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇಥೈಲೈಡೈಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇಥನಾಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆನಿಸೋಲ್ಗೆ ಎಸ್ಟೈಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಮಿಥಾಕ್ಸಿ ಎಸ್ಟೋಫಿನೋನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 2 ಈಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. 82nd question. Consider the following statements about amines. Amines can be considered as derivatives of ammonia. ಅನ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. One hydrogen atom of ammonia is replaced by an alkyl or aryl group to form primary amine. ಅದು ಕೂಡ correct statement. Amines are classified as primary, secondary and tertiary according to the number of amino groups alla, according to the number of alkyl groups connected to nitrogen. Therefore, we need to say A and B only are correct statements. 83. We have a reaction here to be fulfilled. Let's see how to conduct that reaction here. We have cyanide. Dibal H converts esters to aldehydes. Cyanide also to aldehyde. Therefore, we get CHO here. H2O ಹೋಗಿದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು NnH2 ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, we get NnHCONH2. Option 1 is correct answer. 84th question. ಆ ಕಾರ್ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಲಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ CF3COOH is the strongest acid of all, then CCl3COOH, then NO2, then NC. Option number 3 is correct answer. 85th question. Benzyl bromide with silver cyanide ನಮಗೆ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲೋರೋಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. AgCN with Br ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಸಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಡಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ NC ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಮಗೆ ANB ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಇದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದು ಬೆನ್ಸೈಲ್ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್. ಡಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋದು ಫಿನೈಲ್ ಐಸೋಸೈನೈಡ್, ಸೊ ಅದು ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು. ANB ಮಾತ್ರ. ಆಪ್ಷನ್ 1 ಇಸ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್. DDT is a non-biodegradable insecticide. Freon 12 when we consider it is actually a refrigerant and aerosol. Chloroform is a sedative and hypnotic drug. Carbon tetrachloride can be used in fire extinguishers. Option 4 is correct answer. All monosaccharides are reducing sugars. Correct. All of them are reducing. The monosaccharide units obtained from hydrolysis of oligosaccharides are always the same is ತಪ್ಪು. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಸುಕ್ರೋಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಗ್ಲೂಕೋಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಫ್ರಕ್ಟೋಸ್ ಎರಡು ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಬರ್ತವೆ, ಸೇಮ್ ಬರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ರೂಲ್ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ತಪ್ಪು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಯುಲೋಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾಲಿಸ್ಯಾಕರೈಡ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದು. ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಹೈ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ weight compounds of more than 10 units. More than 10 units. That is correct. 10,000 actually, ಅದು correct. Open chain and cyclic structures coexist at equilibrium that are responsible for certain properties, as in the case of D-glucose is a correct statement. 88th question. Identify the incorrect statement. There can be fibrous or globular in structure. Yes, correct. Tertiary dalli eradu bartave. The main forces are so and so, avella bartave. Structure remains intact when exposed to pH changes. Tappu. pH ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಟೆರ್ಷರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ರಿ, ಕ್ವಾಟರ್ನರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಅದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇನಾರ್ಗ್ಯಾನಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ABC ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ನೈಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾಗ ವೈಟ್ PPTX ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ನಾವೇನು ತಗೋಬೇಕದು ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಂತ. ಎರಡನೇದು ಬ್ರೋಮೈಡ್, ಮೂರನೇದು Z ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅಯೋಡೈಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅದಾವೆ. ದೇರ್ಫೋರ್ ತಪ್ಪು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ 4th ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. There is no wrong statement. C60 contains the highest number of carbon atoms among all fullerenes. C60 tappu. C60 rinda C250 ವರೆಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವು ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ತಪ್ಪು, ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ C60 is Buckminster fullerene ಅನ್ಬೋದು. C16 contains 26 membered rings and 12 5-membered rings, correct. And then 5-membered rings fuse with both 5 and 6, tappu. 5 will only fuse with 6, but 6 will fuse with 6 and 5 also. And then E, C double bond, C distance 138.3, correct ide. C is sp2 hybrid, correct ide. So this is all about that we have here for today. And tomorrow another paper. Thank you.
Good evening, all of you. Today, let us discuss the grand test paper 4. First question is, now the first question is, two capacitors of capacities 2 microfarad and 4 microfarad are connected in series. The combination is connected across a potential difference of 10 volts. The ratio of the energy stored by a capacitor will be. So, in the series, what is the same? In series combination, in series, charge remains same. Q is equal to same. Means charge through the first capacitor, charge through the second capacitor, both are the same. So when the charge is the same, then what we can take from formula? U is equal to alpha Q square by C is the better formula to use it. Because energy stored formula what? Energy stored formula U is equal to half CV square is equal to, that is equal to Q square by 2C formula, and that is equal to half Q into V formula, right or not? So what? Half QV into formula, right or not? Therefore, here, what is the V? Potential difference across the first and the second capacitor. So in the series combination, potential difference across the each capacitor is the different. Therefore, charge is the same. Therefore, now what is you can take what but the voltages they have not given, right? No, better what they have given total voltage applied given. But capacitance they have given means what? So this is the better formula to be used because charge is constant, capacitance given. Therefore now U is equal to half Q square. So Q square by C. Therefore U is inversely proportional to C. Therefore now you can say the ratio of the energy stored by the capacitors will be what? That is the, so here U1 is to U2 is equal to C2 by C1, and that is what? 4 by, so 2 first capacitor is the C2 is equal to 4, second capacitor, and C1 is equal to 2. That answer is what? So 2 is to 1, and the first option is the second option is the first question is the second option is the correct for that. Okay, just next question number 2. And so an unknown resistance R1 is connected in series with a resistance of 100 ohm. This combination is connected to one gap of meter bridge while a resistance R2 is connected to the other gap. The balancing point is 50 centimeter. Now they have given, for example, if you take this is the one resistance, this is the one more resistance, both are connected in the left gap. For example, if you take like this, next in the right gap what they have given, so another one is what? Another one, so they are connected like this. This is what? R2. If you take this, therefore now this is R2, I am taking that. Okay. Now what here? So here, this is the R1, and to the R1, 10 ohm resistance is connected in series, and so the balancing point is to the balancing point they have given L is equal to 50 centimeter. Right now, so remaining length how much now? The remaining length is 100 minus L is equal to also 50 centimeter because it is a meter bridge, and in the meter bridge the total length of the wire is equal to 1 meter. 1 meter nothing but 100 centimeter, and they have given balancing point is 50 centimeter, nothing but remaining off is 50 centimeter. And what is the formula here? So according to principle of the meter bridge, so R1 plus 10 by, so L is equal to R2 by, so 100 minus L. Therefore now R1 we don't know, R1 plus 10 is equal by what? 50. So is equal to, so R2 by, so 50, right? Therefore now this 50 cancel. Now the relation between them is what? So R1 so plus 10 is equal to R2. Let me take equation number 1. So here now the what they said, the balancing point is at 50 centimeter. Now when the 10 ohm resistance is removed, the balancing point is shifting to the 40 centimeter. Therefore, in the second case what? This is first case. So this is the first case. So now second case what? 10 ohm is removed. So when the 10 ohm is removed from the system, only R1, R2 are present. In this case, what you can say now, R1 is equal to 40 is equal to R2 by remaining length how much? Now the balancing point from the first point is 40 centimeter, means from the second point how much it is? 100 minus 40 is 60. Therefore now 0 cancel. Therefore now what? R1 by 2 is equal to R2 by 3. Okay, na? So 2 2s are 2 3s are. Now they are asking us the value of R1. They are asking. So here R1 is equal, R2 is equal to how much? R2 is equal to, so 3 by 2 R1. So this R2 value you substitute in the equation number 1. Therefore what we can get now? So R1, so plus 10 is equal to R2 is equal to how much now? That is equal to 3 by 2. So R1 and the 10 is equal to how much? If you bring this side, therefore now what? 10 is equal to, so if you bring the R1 this side, it becomes what? R1 by 2. Therefore now the R1 is equal to 20 ohm. Okay, na? R1 value 20 ohm. If they will ask R2 value, we can find out the same answer. In the first question, in the first case, R1 is in series with another 10 ohm. So we got the balancing point is 50. And when it is removed, the balancing point is coming to 40 centimeter. Follow the same process and you will get the two equations, first one and the second one. Substitute the second equation in the one, you will get the answer for that. Now, question number 3. Question number 3. Now the question number 3 is what? A magnet of length 14 centimeter and magnetic moment M is broken into two parts of length 6 centimeter and 8 centimeter. So they are put at right angles to each other with opposite poles together. The magnetic moment of this combination is they are asking. So this is a 1 bar magnet. Right, this is 1 bar magnet and the length of the magnet, how much? Length is equal to, they have given 14 centimeter. Magnetic length is equal to 14 centimeter. So this one is so they cut into two pieces. First one is the 6 centimeter and other one is what? So 8 centimeter, correct? 6 and 8. Therefore yes. Therefore first one is 6 and 8. So this I will take a 6 centimeter piece and another one I will take what? 8 centimeter. Therefore now 6 centimeter and that is L1 and the second is L2 is equal to 8 centimeter because they are cutting like this. Total length again what? 6 plus 8 is equal to 14 only. After cutting, now they are arranging like this. They are so keeping, so like this. Therefore now what? So this is if you take like this, now they are asking what? This is L1 is equal to 6 centimeter and L2 is equal to 8 centimeter. For this whole system, what is the new magnetic moment? M dash is equal to how much? Okay, after arranging like this, first of all, they cut the given magnet of length, so 14 centimeter in two pieces. First piece is 6 centimeter and second piece is 8 centimeter. After cutting these two pieces, they made in the form of a right angle triangle. They are asking what is the, so new one. Therefore now here, so when you are cut the magnet like this, there is no change in what? There is no change in the pole strength. Pole strength is the constant because if you cut the magnet along the length, then what we can so say that the magnetic pole strength is going to be changed. Here magnetic pole strength is the same. So what is the effective length, Nana? Now what? So therefore if you take now the total effective length we have to find out. Okay, total effective length is equal to how much? For example, if you take so this is the, so north and south like this, therefore effective length how much? So we'll get the 10 centimeter. Okay, therefore now what? Here, first of all, let us find out the pole strength. Initial case what? Initial M is equal to, so M into 14 centimeter. Therefore, M is equal to how much now? M is equal to M by 14. Let me take equation number 1. From the initial case, I am calculating because magnetic moment formula, magnetic moment is equal to pole strength into length of the magnet. Magnetic length, that is not geometric length. Therefore, from that I found M is equal to M by 14. Therefore, what is the new magnetic? Therefore, M dash is equal to M into L dash. In here, this is the 6 centimeter length, this is the 10 centimeter. Therefore, effective length L dash is equal to under root of 6 square plus 8 square. So, is equal to 10 centimeter is the effective length. And if you substitute that is equal to M, already we found M by 14 into L dash is equal to 10, and after simplification we will get by M by 1.4 is the answer. Okay, first of all we have to find out the initial magnetic pole strength how much, m by 14. Then after go through this one, because after folding into right angle form, therefore the effective length is becomes what, because the length of the magnet is not a scalar, it is the shortest distance between the north and south pole. Therefore now you can find out 10 centimeter like that. Next question number 4. Question number 4 you can solve easily. A circuit of area 0.01 meter square is kept inside a magnetic field which is normal to the plane, and the magnetic field changes from 2 Tesla to 1 Tesla in millisecond. If the resistance of the circuit is 2 ohm, the amount of the heat developed is. So this point we have explained. So in case of the electromagnetic induction, question number 4th. Right? First of all, we have to find out what is the induced. So resistance given, yes, resistance also given. We can find out the current. Then after we can find out E into V only. Therefore, now first of all you find out. So what here area, how much? Area is equal to 0.01, nothing but 1 into 10 power minus 2 meter square. So next what, inside a magnetic field which is normal to the planes, means what, theta is equal to 0. So magnetic field changes, B1 is equal to, so 2 Tesla to 1 Tesla, B1 is equal to 2 Tesla and B2 is equal to 1 Tesla. Next what, in 1 millisecond. Therefore, so change in time, delta T is equal to 1 into 10 power minus 3 second. Therefore, now what, if the resistance what given, R is equal to 2 ohm given. First of all, if you follow the data like this, then you can get idea how to generate the power, how to find out the power. Power formula what, power is equal to, you can say, V into I. In place of the V, I am substituting E into I. So what that is E by, so R is equal to E square by R. Just you substitute the values, you can get the answer. And where E value is, where E is equal to formula N B A cos theta, change in magnetic field by, so change in time. Therefore, don't forget here you will get what, minus. Right? So minus, because according to Lenz's law, we can put the minus NBA cos theta delta B by delta T. Here everything is there. Delta B you can write final value minus initial value. Delta P is equal to B2 minus B1 by T2 minus T1. Delta T they have given 1 millisecond. First of all, you find out this value. After finding, you substitute that, we can get the answer. Okay. I hope you may solve it, because already, so one model problem we have solved on this one. Next, 5th question. Question number 5. A circuit has a self-inductance 1 Henry and current rises to 2 ampere. So to prevent sparkling, when the circuit is switched off, a capacitor which can withstand 400 volt is used. The least capacitance of the capacitor connected across the switch must be equal to. So on discharging the current, or on the decay of the current through the inductor, compulsory to not coming the sparkling, or to stop the sparkling, compulsory the current has to controlled by the connecting of the capacitor. And here, so the capacitance becomes minimum when the energy stored in the, so question number 5, it is energy stored in the inductor, I mean UL must and should be equal to energy stored in the capacitor. Energy stored in the inductor is equal to, so L into I square, that is equal to half into C V square. Just I value given and I value given, C value, this is the V value also given, right? And they are asking what is the C is equal to how much, and just to substitute the values, half get cancel here. Right, 1 by 2 cancel, L I square is equal to CV square. So to stop the sparkling, compulsory the energy stored inside the inductor is equal to energy stored in the capacitor, that will come in the, so LC oscillations concept beta. Next what? So 6th question. So 6th question what? An alternating voltage E is equal to 200 sine 100t is applied to a series combination of, so R is equal to 30 ohm and an inductor of, so 40 millihenry. The power factor of the circuit is right. So 6th question it is now. So what is the power factor? Power factor is nothing but power factor is equal to cosine angle of a phase difference between the voltage and current. That's cos pi SRN beta. Cos pi is called as the power factor. Power factor is equal to cos pi. And how to find out the phase difference, that is important. For example, if you take now, so this is the, so what, impedance triangle amma. So in this impedance triangle, this pi is representing phase difference, and so this is indicating what reactance, and this is the resistance, and this is called what impedance, that is equal to under root of so x square plus r square is called as the impedance of the circuit. So this is called as the impedance triangle. In this impedance triangle, so if inductor is there, x will be replaced with xl. If capacitor is there, means what, CR circuit, so x will be replaced with XC. If both are present, so x is equal to, you can take XL separation, so XC. What is the meaning of separation, amma? When in the LCR series circuit both are present, so capacitor and inductor. So in that case, so the reactance, the effective reactance is equal to separation between XL and XC. So what is the meaning of the separation? If XL value greater than XC, you take XL minus XC. If XC value greater than XL, you take XC minus XL. Accordingly, we can change it. But here only inductor is there. First of all, so let us find out XL value. XL value how much? XL is equal to, from this, how can you find out phase difference now? So tan pi is equal to X by R. From this, we have to find out first of all phase difference. Otherwise, if you want to find out direct, you can find out R. So what? So R cos pi. Cos pi is equal to what? Cos pi is equal to, so that is what, adjacent side. So R by, so hypotenuse under root of what? Under root of x square plus so R square. Use this formula directly, you can get the answer. Okay. So otherwise, first of all, better to find out phase difference. So XL is equal to how much given? XL is equal to omega L. Omega value, so 100, okay, into L value, L is equal to, that is a 400 millihenry, nothing but 10 power minus 3. After simplify, you will get, so 4 zeros are cancelled, is equal to how much? That is equal to 40 ohm. This is the XL value. Resistance how much given? 30 ohm. Therefore, what is the phase difference? Tan pi is equal to, so what, x by r. So x L by r, that is equal to 40 by 30. So that is equal to 4 by 3. Right? Tan pi is equal, we got how much? 4 by 3. And 4 by 3 means what? Then compulsory pi value is equal to, that is 57 degrees. Remember it. Okay? So tan pi is equal to 4 by 3. This 4 by 3 with tan function will come. So when the pi is equal to 57 degrees, because, so remember that sin 37 is equal to cos 53 is equal to how much? That is equal to 3 by 5. Fine. So sin 53 is equal to cos 37 is equal to 4 by 5. Right? So remember these two values, sin 37 is equal to cos 53, both are having the same value, that is equal to 3 by 5. And sin 53 is equal to cos 37, that is equal to 4 by 5. And what you want here? So sin tan pi. So sin 53 by cos 53 togori, you will get what? 4 by 3, nothing but what? So I have taken here, sorry. This is the 57. Yes. This is 37 and 53. Right? Therefore, now what? Sin 53 is equal to how much? That is a sin 53 degrees. Okay? Na? So now here what you can get? That is a, so pi value. Therefore, but cos pi value how much? Next what? Power factor. Pi we got. Power factor, you find out what is that? That is equal to cos 53. Cos 53 value is that is equal to 3 by 5 is equal to 0.6 is the correct answer. Okay, na? Now sixth one is what? Fourth option is the correct. Okay. First of all, you find out the phase difference by using this one R. If you don't want all this, direct take the formula. That from the figure only we can get cos pi is equal to what? Cos pi is equal to, so adjacent side resistance by, so Z, you can take the answer. And first of all, and again you have to find out the Z value, both are the same method. So you can follow any one of the method. Next. So question number 7th. A particle of mass 1 into 10 power minus 27 kg, 26 kg, and charge 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, traveling with a velocity 1.28 into 10 power 6 meter per second along the positive x-axis. So enters a region in which a uniform electric field and magnetic field are applied. So if E bar is equal to means electric field given, magnetic field given, then the direction of the motion of the particle. A charged particle is entering into the combination of electric and magnetic field, right? A charged particle, according to question, a charged particle of charge given S2, that is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb, and mass how much? 1 into 10 power minus 26 kg they have given, and speed what? 1.28 into 10 power 6 meter per second along the positive x-axis. Means what? Before entering into the two fields, electric and magnetic field, initially the particle coming along the positive x-axis. Once when it is entering into the combined fields, so it may change its direction because of electric force and magnetic force. Electric field applies electric force and magnetic field applies the magnetic force. Due to the combination of the two forces, the direction of motion will be changed. Now the question what they are asking, after entering into the electric and magnetic field, what is the direction? Along the positive x-axis, means what? Direction does not change. Initially also coming in the positive x direction. Along the negative x-axis at 45, all this they are asking. But one thing you keep in mind, this type of the problems not need to that use that one. So whenever they will give like that, first of all find out the speed. So V is equal to how much given? V is equal to 1.28 into 10 power 6 meter per second. They have given this value. Once you check it, E by V value, Nana, means what? E naught by B naught value, you check it. So what is that? Now the amplitude of electric field, how much? That is E by V. Only amplitudes you can take, or E naught also no problem. Is equal to, that is equal to, so 102.4 by, and that is what? So into 10 power, so 3 by what? By the 8 into 10 power minus 2. After simplification, so pakka you will get what value? 1.28 into 10 power 6 only. Means the given velocity of the particle is equivalent to E naught by means what? So the particle is under undeviated cases. Means what? That doesn't change. So according to electric force and according to magnetic force, it is going undeviated. So this is called the velocity selector formula. Therefore, according to velocity selector formula, V is equal to, must and should be equal to what? So E by, so magnetic field. Therefore, if this condition is satisfied, therefore the particle does not change its path. In what direction? Initially it is coming before entering into the field. After entering also, it goes along the same direction. Okay. Therefore, next, so 8th one. So a ray of light falls on a transparent glass slab of refractive index 1.62. If the reflector ray and that is direct case, so that is what? So Brewster angle point only. Next, 9th question. So a ray PQ is incident on a refracting surface BA. Is refracted, that is a prism. And so in the question, if you see the diagram actually, so that is the diagram is somewhat mistake in the diagram, right? They have given like this. Therefore, this it should be like this actually. Means what? So this is the QR and this is what? So BC. Means what? Here in this question, so QR, question number 9th. Question number 9 in the diagram. So what? That QR is parallel to BC. When the refractor ray inside the prism is parallel to the base, therefore that is under minimum deviation. That is under what? So minimum deviation. Under minimum deviation formula what? So they are asking what? That is equal to, so question that is so then the angle of deviation of the ray they are asking. Therefore, formula what? Mu is equal to sine of A plus lambda minimum by 2 by what? By sine of A by 2. This is the formula. So A value they have given 60 degrees and you follow like that. This is the indication for that. But in the diagram, small mistake because QR is not parallel. That is a diagram mistake. So just you check it. Next, 10th one direct. That is Young's modulus. So at the bright bond, that is a 4 I naught. and if you use the white light, it becomes only completely what? Completely it is just illumination, and for that 2 I naught and 4 I naught by 2 I naught, you will get the answer 2. I hope you may understand, because 10th one is the direct basic concept. So next. So next 12th, 11th, 12th already. So model prepares yesterday and day before yesterday I have explained. So 11th and 12th, the same model, little bit different, same questions we have explained. Next what? So the energy that should be added to an electron to reduce the de Broglie wavelength from 1 nanometer to 0.5 nanometer is the 13th question. Let's go for that. Question number 13th. The energy that should be added to an electron, so to reduce its de Broglie wavelength from 1 nanometers to 0.5 nanometer. Actually, so what is the de Broglie wavelength formula? So lambda is equal to h by under root of 2m capital K, or you can take E also, no problem, where K is the kinetic energy or E is the energy. Here what they have given, so here now the de Broglie wavelength is inversely proportional to, so kinetic energy, correct or not? So from this you can say what? So lambda 2 by lambda 1 is equal to K2 by K1, right? Sorry, K1 by K2, because it is inversely proportional. So K1 by K2 with what? With a square root. Because you see, so the de Broglie wavelength for the given particle of mass m is inversely proportional to square root of the kinetic energy. So lambda 2 by lambda 1 is equal to root over K1 by K2. They said what? So wavelength becomes off. Wavelength becomes off means what? So lambda 2 plus I am taking that 0.5 by what? 1 is equal to, that's K1 by, so K2. Now 0.5 you can write what? 1 by 2 is equal to K1 by K2. If you take the square on both sides, 1 by 4 is equal to K1 by K2, and final kinetic energy estimate K2 is equal to 4K1. But if you see the question clearly, in the question that is also there 4 times, they are not asking what is the final kinetic energy. They are asking how much energy will be added extra. Means idu final energy we have to change 4 times of the initial energy. How much you change it? Therefore the change they are asking, delta K is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy. See the question, the energy that should be added, the energy that is added, removed, okay na? So extra, all these words are indicating what? Change. Therefore that is equal to 4K1 minus K1 is equal to 3K1, correct? Therefore now, so this is the change or additional energy we have to give to the electron, so that the de Broglie wavelength becomes half of the initial value. Next. Question number 14th, theory point. So question number 9th, 15th. Question number 15th. In a vernier caliper's n divisions of vernier scale coincide with the n minus divisions of the main scale. In which one division represents the vernier constant? Vernier constant is also called as what? So least count we can call. Therefore now here, so what they have given, n number of divisions on the vernier scale is equal to n minus 1 divisions, right or not? So what is the least count? So here they are asking what? Least count or vernier constant. So vernier constant, so our least count is equal to, so what? That is so 1 MSD, 1 MSD minus 1 VSD. Therefore the different question, what is the different? Okay, the formula. Here first of all, what is the condition they have given? So n divisions of VSD. Therefore n into 1 VSD is equal to n minus 1 into, so what? 1 MSD. Okay, from this what we can say now here, so 1 VSD value is to 1 VSD is equal to n minus n by n into what? So MSD, correct? So now you substitute there, you can get the answer. Therefore now what? The least count is equal to 1 MSD, you substitute as it is, 1 MSD only I have taken. 1 VSD value is equal to what? 1 VSD is equal to, we can take so n minus 1 by n into MSD. Therefore, finally, if you take the common, that is what 1 minus n minus n by what? So MSD. Therefore, n minus n means what? 1 by n MSD. Correct? 1 by n MSD is the answer. But once if you check the options closely, you see what they have given. So in which one division represents the Vernier constant is the centimeter they have asked. So generally, the least count will be expressed what in terms of the millimeter. Right now, if you convert into centimeter, this is answer what amma? So millimeter. If you convert into centimeter, it becomes what 1 by 10m. Therefore, now what that is in in the option in the question they will mention in centimeter. Right? So 1 centimeter is equal to how much now? 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeter. Therefore, 1 millimeter is equal to 1 by 10 centimeter. Generally, this will be in millimeters. It is in millimeter generally. Therefore, now what? So in place of the millimeter, if you substitute there, final answer what? That is equal to 1 by 10n is the answer. Okay. So next question is 16th question. Question number 16th. The product of linear momentum and angular momentum of an electron of the hydrogen atom is proportional to n power x. Then they are asking what is the value of the x. Therefore, here, first of all, let's go for the linear momentum. So, formula what? P is equal to m into v. What is the v here? Speed of the particle, or sorry, velocity of the particle. So, when the electron is moving in the circular path. And formula what? That is equal to, so m, so here that is a linear momentum. So, mcz by, so 137, so into what? That is a 137 by n. How it will come means I am converting into in where n is the number of orbit, c is the speed of the light, z is what? So it's a atomic number, m is the mass beta. So velocity we can express in terms of the speed of the light is given by, so c by 137 into what? Into z by n. Once you refer the notes, the velocity of the electron in nth orbit of any element of the atomic number z is equal to c by 137, so z by n. Right, and that is okay. Next, what is the linear momentum formula? Angular momentum formula, L is equal to NH by 2 pi. The angular momentum does not depend upon the nature of the atom, because here, so Z value is not there, only it depends upon the number of orbit astray. Therefore, now they are asking what? So the product of them means the product of linear momentum and angular momentum. If you take it what? MCZ by, so 137 into N. So into what? Into that is equal to n h by 2 pi. Therefore, now what? Cancel. N cancel. Therefore, now what? So PL is equal to MCZ. So h by 137. So means what? 274 into pi, because the 2 pi is there. And tell me, in this case, the product is independent of n. It does not depend upon the n. Therefore, now what? PL is directly proportional to n power 0 on the n beta. So, it does not depend upon n value. The product does not depend upon the n value. Therefore, now what? X is equal to 0 as per that question. Next, so 17th. Now, right, 17th question. A nucleus disintegrates into two nuclear parts which have their velocities in the ratio 2:1. So the ratio of their nuclear size will be, they are asking right now. So nuclear size we have to find out. So first of all, so we can express here, right? First of all, so what is that? So velocity ratio, yes, they have given velocity ratio. So V1 by V2 is equal to, that is a 2 by 1. Let me take equation number 1. Right? So that is equation number 1. But when the nucleus is disintegrated, so what? According to law of conservation of linear momentum, we can say m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2. Correct, Amma? Therefore, now what we can write now? So m1 by m2 is equal to m1 by m2 is equal to v2 by v1. Okay, according to law of conservation of linear momentum. So m1 v1 is equal to m2 v2, and m1 by m2 is equal to v2 by v1 because they are inversely proportional, right or not? And that also you can write. So if you come to the mass, so mass formula what? Mass is equal to density into volume. So the density is the same because nucleus is the same. When the density is the same, so mass is directly proportional to volume, and mass is directly proportional to 4 by 3 pi r cube. Therefore, now what again we can say that is a m1 by m2 is equal to, so r1 by r2 whole power 3. So that I am writing, so r1 by r2 whole power 1 by 3. Right? Therefore, sorry, it is what, Amma? It is equal to 3. They are asking what? Ratio of the nuclear size. Therefore, now what? Use this one, you can get the answer. Right? So, V1 by V2 is equal to 2 by 1. Therefore, so option 4th you will get. Therefore, R1 by R2 value is 2. R1 by R2 whole power 3 is equal to V2 by V1. But we have taken V1 by V2. Therefore, V2 by V1 will get what? 1 by 2. R1 by R2 is equal to 1 by 2 power 1 by 3. 1 is to 2 power 1 is to 1 by 3 is the correct answer for this one. Okay. So carefully apply the law of conservation of linear momentum. Then after you have to follow this, because so we don't know the relation between the velocity and radius, I mean size. Therefore, but mass is equal to density into volume. Volume is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, because so every nucleus almost so in the form of the, so what, sphere, spherical shape. Therefore, now you can say that's the answer. Next. Question number 18 is our material question. You can go through direct answer. And question number 19 also, that is there in our material, because the intrinsic carrier concentration of silicon sample at so 300 Kelvin is 1.5 into 10 power 16 meter per meter. And what is the density of the majority carrier, they are asking. Therefore, now density of the majority carrier rho is equal to, you can say what that is equal to, so Ni square by N out. So this is the formula, Ni value, No value given, just you substitute. That is also from our material only. Next, question number 20. Question number 20, that is so direct by using the Boolean algebra. So they have given like this. Right? From this, two inputs will come, and here they have given right. So here this is they have given C, and here this is the A and this is the B, A, B, and from this one more is there, from this one connection. Therefore, now what, like this they have given therefore, now what, this is also what, A only. So here it is what, A and B. Therefore, this is what, R gate. So after coming here, now this input becomes what, that is equal to A plus B only, because this is the R gate. And here A is, input A is common for both gates. For this gate, again this is the R gate, and this is what, C, and A plus C. Here the input is how much, that is equal to A plus C. And again this is what, this is a AND gate. So AND gate operates what, multiplication. Therefore, final answer what, now the final answer is equal to A plus B. So what, so A plus C. A simple question, so very simple only, direct you can take a second option is. So next, 21. Question number 21. A small spherical ball falling through a viscous medium of negligible density has a terminal velocity v. Another ball of same mass but of radius twice that of the earlier falling through the same viscous medium. So we'll have the terminal velocity they are asking. Right? Actually, yeah. So terminal velocity formula what? Terminal velocity formula V is equal to 2 by 9 r square by so neta. So what that is r square by so neta into that's what g rho square g into what? So rho minus sigma, where rho is the density of that particle, I mean body, and sigma is the density of the viscosity medium. For example, when the ball is dropping, when the ball is coming in the air, if the air density is neglected, therefore sigma is equal to 0. Therefore here they have given what? This part is equal to 0 you take. Therefore now V is equal to what now? V is equal to 2 by 9 r square, so g by so neta. So into what? Into rho. But density formula what? Now V is equal to 2 by 9, so r square g by so neta into density is equal to mass by volume, that is equal to 4 by 3, so pi r cube. And one thing, so here what? If you don't follow the density formula or density expression, so you may think that what? So V is directly proportional to r square. If V is directly proportional to r square, that is the wrong. Why? Because your density of the sphere also depends upon the radius, because density is equal to mass by volume. Therefore 4 by 3 pi r cube. Here one r square is there, one r cube is there. Finally, from this expression we can say V is terminal velocity is inversely proportional to what? So radius of that spherical ball. Therefore now what we can say? V2 by V1 is equal to R1 by R2. So V2 for the first one V1, and for the second that is a 2, that is a 2 times they have given. So what? It is reverse, no? Yes, R1 and R only. R2 is equal to what? That is equal to 2R. R cancel. After simplification, V2 is equal to what? V1 by 2. And in this question, the most confusing thing is that, so by following this, you will feel that, so V is inversely proportional to R square. So that options also maybe will give in the question, but that is not correct. So be careful, it is a wrong. Okay. So but here, so the density of the sphere also depends upon its radius. Finally, for the given density, so what? The terminal velocity is inversely proportional to radius, not directly proportional to square of the radius. Next, question number 23. Question number 22, the direct problem. I hope you may understand. Okay, na? Simple question on direct formula based question. Question number 23. Two rods of different materials having coefficient of thermal expansions alpha 1 and alpha 2 and Young's modulus so y1 and y2 respectively are fixed between two rigid walls. The rods are heated such that they undergo the same increase in the temperature. So there is no bending of rods. If alpha 1 by alpha 2 is equal to 2 by 3 and stresses developed in the two rods are equal, then y1 by y2 is equal to they are asking. Right? So thermal stress formula what beta? Thermal stress, this is question number 23. So the thermal stress formula. Thermal stress formula, sigma is equal to y into alpha into delta T. Okay, that is the thermal stress expression. So here what they said, so sigma is the same. Sigma is equal to same and delta T is equal to also same. Right now, when both are the same, therefore now what here? So y into alpha is equal to constant. Correct? Because bring the delta T this side. So what you can say, so y into alpha is equal to sigma by delta T. They said sigma is same, thermal stress is the same, change in temperature is same. Therefore, when this is the constant, so you can say what? So y into alpha is equal to constant. Therefore now, so y1 by y2 is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1. If you bring the alpha this side, it becomes so into that denominator. Therefore y1 by y2 is equal to alpha 2 by alpha 1. They are asking what? y1 by y2 is equal to estimado 2 by 3 they have given, but this is answer how much? So 3 by 2 because ulta. Next question number so 24, 25, 26, So these are all basic problems, right? No. So 24, 25, 26 basic problems. 24th, so 1 gram of steam at 100 degrees Celsius, 100 degree Celsius and equal mass of ice at 0 degree Celsius are mixed. The temperature of the mixture in steady state will be, so latent heat of the steam is 540 calorie per gram and latent heat of the ice they have given. So find out the total energy. So according to law of conservation of equal law, energy lost by the hard body is equal to energy cold by the cold body, and if you follow that, so that is what 100 degrees Celsius only, because the steam, the amount of the steam is more than the amount of the ice, therefore automatically the temperature of the system is 100 degrees Celsius as it is. And 25, so 25, that is work done in the case of what, that is adiabatic process. In adiabatic process, so that is the direct question. 26th also, and now, so 27th. Question number 27th. A gas is suddenly expanded such that its final volume becomes 3 times its so initial volume. If the specific heat at constant volume of the gas is equal to 2R, then the so ratio of initial to final pressure so is nearly how much they are asking. So here what volume suddenly becomes what, that is 3 times, therefore now that is the specific heat at constant volume of the gas is equal to 2R, then the ratio of the initial to final pressure, yes, okay. Now what, so the question number what, it is the 27th question. Whenever they will mention sudden, every sudden process is the adiabatic process, right? This is the adiabatic process, remember it. Every sudden process in the nature is the adiabatic process. For example, blasting of a cycle tube is nothing but adiabatic process. So in the adiabatic process they have given what, so volume becomes 3 times, means final volume V2 is equal to 3 times of the initial volume. Now the question is, what is the ratio of the pressure they are asking, right? So here what, so ratio of the pressure, formula what, PV power gamma is equal to constant. So when you take this one, so P1 V1 power gamma is equal to P2 V2 power gamma. Therefore pressure ratio P1 by P2 is equal to, so it will come V2 by V1 whole power gamma. Let me take equation number 1. Right. So here what they have given, CV is equal to 2R given, but you know CP minus CV is equal to R. Therefore CP is equal to CV plus R, and that is equal to what, 3R, because CV is equal to 2R and 2R plus R is equal to 3R. Therefore now you can say gamma is equal to what, CP by CV is equal to what, 3 by 2 is equal to 1.5. Therefore, you substitute here, you can get the answer, the ratio. Therefore, P1 by P2 is equal to V2 by V1. So what, that is equal to 3 V1 by V1 whole power 3 by 2. So V1 V1 cancel. Therefore, 3 whole power 3 by 2. Solve it, you can get the answer. That is equal to 3 root 3 you will get, because so 3 power 3 27. So 27, so square root of 27. So that is, you can say 9 square into 3. Therefore 3 root 3 is the answer for that. After simplification, you will get 3 root 3 is the ratio between so initial to final pressure. Next. Next, a person aiming to reach exactly opposite point. So opposite point on the bank of a stream is swimming with a speed of 0.5 meter per second at an angle of 120 degrees with the direction of flow of water. The speed of the water in the stream is they are asking. For example, if you take this is the so river, and the river flow, their question is what, the speed of the water means what, the speed of the water, let us suppose I will take. And so the person wants to go to exactly opposite bank, means what, the resultant velocity compulsory should be along the normal to the river. But this person is going in this direction. Therefore now what it is, so V is equal to how much they have given, that is equal to 0 point. So the person velocity 0.5 5 meter per second with respect to the, so down it is making how much? Therefore now theta is equal to 120 degrees. If it is 120 degrees, this angle how much now? This angle is equal to 60 degrees. Means what? See, if he wants to go to the exactly opposite bunk, the total velocity should be along the normal to. So now what? Here, if you resolve it, it becomes what? V cos theta. Here what? Here this is the u because speed of the river flow. Means what? Along the river, net velocity is equal to 0. Correct? Because he wants to reach opposite bunk. When he wants to reach opposite bunk, so the velocity of the person, the component of velocity of the person along the river must and should be equal to what? U. Then and only then both are equal but opposite direction, net velocity is equal to 0. Net velocity along the river direction 0 means what? The net velocity is only along the perpendicular. Therefore now what? So from that you can say, so from the diagram what you can say, so that is equal to u is given by what? U is equal to V cos 60. So V value how much they have given? That is equal to, how much is the V value given? Yes, 0.5, and cos 60 value 1 by 2 is equal to 0.25 meter per second. Understand? To travel the person only exactly opposite to the other bank. So what? That net velocity along the river direction must be 0. Means the velocity of the person along the, so river must and should be equal to velocity of the river only. Therefore now u is equal to, we got it. Next. 29th. A container with insulating walls is divided into two equal parts by a partition fitted with a valve. One part is filled with an ideal gas at a pressure P and a temperature T, where the other part is completely evacuated. If the valve is suddenly opened, the pressure and temperature of the gas will be there asking. Idu one container beta, right? This is one container, and this container is divided into two partitions. Right or not? Now here one small valve is there here. One small valve, right? No, just like a open. Right? No, so one open is there. Right? So here completely gas is there. This is the gas. This is the completely vacuum. And this is question number 29. Okay, now what they said? So they open this one. They are open this one. When they are opening this one, the question, now what is the pressure and the temperature of the gas? After that they are asking them. So one thing you keep in mind now. So when it is expanded, right? So this volume I will take that what V by 2 because of, and this value also of V by 2. The total box volume how much? V by 2. Therefore in this the gas volume is V by 2. Right? And when it is expand, the final volume what? Final volume, because when you are opening, the gas is coming into this also. Therefore, total volume of the gas V final is equal to V by 2 plus V by 2 is equal to V. Okay, the initial volume of how much? Initial volume Vi is equal to V by 2. Therefore, the volume becomes a double. Keep in mind, volume becomes what? A double. Initially, the gas is present only on the left container, left part of the container. In the right part of the container, there is no gas, therefore, but volume is to V by 2 because total volume, let us assume, so V. Therefore, volume becomes what? Double. Now, here what? When it is coming like this, that is the free expansion. You are not applying any heat, you are not applying any energy, just you are opening the pipe first. When you are opening the hole or when you are opening the valve, so what? The gas expands freely without application of any force or any energy. This is called as a free expansion. In the free expansion, so what? So temperature remains constant. Right? So therefore, there is no change in internal energy. Delta U is equal to 0. So when the delta U is equal to 0, delta T is equal to also 0. Right? Because temperature is the measure of internal energy. If the temperature increases means what? Internal energy increases. If the temperature decreases means what? Internal energy decreases. If the temperature constant means what? Internal energy is equal to constant. Therefore, now in the free expansion, the change in internal energy is equal to 0. Therefore, change in temperature is equal to 0. Therefore, temperature is equal to constant. Okay, na? One answer we got. Temperature does not change. But they are asking what? Temperature, okay. Volume becomes what? Volume becomes a double. But they didn't ask what is the volume and they are asking about the pressure and temperature. So we got the temperature answer. What about the pressure, amma? Therefore, formula from the ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. So n constant, R constant, temperature constant. Therefore, now what? So P is inversely proportional to volume. Therefore, P2 by P1 is equal to V1 by V2. Therefore, as inversely proportional, therefore, what you can get, amma? So P2 is equal to P by 2 you will get. Because when the volume becomes double, the pressure becomes what? So off. Okay. Therefore, now 30 direct simple question, amma. Right now that constant volume. So simple question only. And so 31 is a different question. Let me explain, amma. A particle at the end of a spring executes a section with a period T1, time period T1, while the corresponding period for the another spring is T2. If the periods of oscillation with the two springs in series so is T, then the relation between they are asking, amma. So generally, time period formula what? Question number time formula. So time period formula, T is equal to 2 pi under root of m by k, you take it. Right? So from this, what is the k value? Spring constant is equal to, if you take the square on both sides, T square is equal to 4 pi square m by k, and k value is k is equal to 4 pi square m by, so what is that? Time, this is the time square. Here 4 pi square is m is constant. Let me take that constant as c by t square I will take, because for each spring and both are constant only. So 4 pi square m is mass is attached same only, 4 pi square m by, so in place of the 4 square m I have taken c by t square. So let me take equation number 1 beta. Right now for the first one, what you can get now, k1 is equal to c by t1 square. For the second one is what, k2 is equal to c by t2 square. Therefore let me take equation number 2. This is the equation number 2. Now what is the answer, amma? Now again the individual springs, they are connected to what? In the series combination. In the series combination, 1 by ks is equal to 1 by k1 plus 1 by k2 formula. Use model, you will get the answer, amma. Therefore 1 by ks, 1 by, in place of the ks you apply this formula. Therefore what? C by t square is equal to idu, so c by small t1 square plus 1 by c by, so t2 square. So this t square goes upside, t square by c is equal to, so t1 square by c plus t2 square by c. Therefore c get cancel all. Therefore t square is equal to t1 square plus t2 square. That's it. T square is equal to t1 square plus t2 square is the answer for that amount. Next. Next 32 is the repeated problem, that is the open pipe and closed pipe, just the same model like so yesterday or day before yesterday one problem same, just you go through it, you can find out the answer. Next here what, 33, let's go for this one. Question number 33. Ultraviolet light of wavelength, right? Let us take the data first. Wavelength lambda is equal to 300 nanometer, means 10 power minus 9 meter. And intensity I is given by, is equal to, that is 1 watt per meter square intensity. Falls on the surface of the photoelectric cell. So if 1% of the incident photons produce photoelectrons, then the number of photoelectrons emitted from an area. So area how much? A is equal to 1 centimeter, means what? 10 power minus 4 meter square. So now that number of electrons are emitted, they are asking them. First of all, we have to find out how many number of photons are incident first. How many number of photons are incident first? బంద్ చేశారా? టైం కూడా అయిపోయింది. ఏమైంది? టైం కూడా అయిపోయిందిలే. ఇది ఒక్క ప్రాబ్లం. Okay. So now, if 1% of incident photons produce photoelectrons, then the number of photoelectrons emitted from an area of 1 centimeter square of the surface is. Actually, they are asking that number of electrons emitted. Generally, every one photon causes to remove one electron. But is that the intensity, that efficiency is not that much amount, because so only 1% means if 100 photons are incident on a metal surface, only one electron is coming out. If the 200 photons are incident on a metal surface, 2 electrons will come out like that. Therefore, only 1% they have given. So before that, number of the protons we have to find out. Okay. So number of protons, how many incident? Therefore, so here question in area how much given? Yes. Therefore, now so the number of protons, right now, that is the direct expression. So what? Number of protons I is equal to what? So power by, so what? That is the energy of the each. This is the formula. Number of the photons incident is equal to power by, so energy. So power is equal to how much? That is equal to intensity into area, and by what? That is equal to hc by lambda, where wavelength also given. No, so in terms of the wavelength, the energy formula of each photon how much now? hc by lambda. Lambda goes upside, so np is equal to, so I a lambda by hc, and all values they have given. So intensity given, area given, and lambda given. H is equal to Planck constant 6.634 into 10 power minus 34 joule second, and c is called as the speed of the light. Therefore, now what we can say here, therefore all these values substitute there. After getting that, Ne is equal to 1 by 100 into Np, and use this, you will get the answer for that question. So next, 35th question. Thirty-fifth. Consider the nuclear reaction. So what is the nuclear reaction here? So the given nuclear reaction is X. So 200 decays to two daughter elements, that is A120 plus so B80. B80 is balanced. Now for that, if the binding energy per nucleon for X, A and B are 7.4 mega electron volt, so 8.2 and 8.3 mega electron volt respectively, then the energy released in the reaction is so energy released is what? Energy released Q is equal to total energy of reactants. Total energy of reactants minus, so what? That is equal to what? That is equal to product. So here, yes, what number? That is sorry. This is the products, and this what reactants. means which are participating in the reactants which are produced as a product. First of all, what we have to find out? So energy, so we have to find out each one. So here for this one, binding energy, so energy of the reactants, ER is equal to, so one thing, so binding energy is mass number, right? No, so binding energy per, this is called what, specific binding energy, BS, and its mass number S to E. So this is the energy formula, remember, because this 7.4 mega electron volt, that is not binding energy. Binding energy per nucleon means for one nucleon, the energy. Total number of nucleon system 200. Therefore, now what? So BS value they have given for the X, that is the 7.4. So mega electron volt into 200. You will get this answer. You substitute there, right? So you will get the answer for here. Then after here, how many reactor products are there? 2 products are there. Therefore, now the total energy of the products, this is what? Energy of the products, EP is equal to, so energy, binding energy, specific binding energy of the A, and so into its mass number, how much? 120, and specific binding energy, direct you can take. EP is equal to, that is the, so here they have given 8.2 into 120 plus, so 8.3 into 80, simplify it, so you are getting that in the mega electron volt. Therefore, you substitute there, you can get the answer, the energy released. Once again, listen on this problem. This is the equation, right? Here what? So the energy, for example, BS is called what? BS, specific binding energy, is equal to binding energy per nucleon per A. Okay, so that is a theoretical point. Specific binding energy or binding energy per nucleon is equal to energy by A. So what is the energy formula then? Energy is equal to specific binding energy or binding energy per nucleon into what? Mass number. That expression. Therefore, first of all, for the reactants, you find out the energy. So specific binding energy into mass number. Therefore, now substitute, you will get the answer. And here total 2 products will be there, and each product for A they have given estimate 8.2 mega electron volt. That is specific binding energy, and what, that is 8.2 and into 120 plus 8.3 into 80, you solve it. Therefore, after that the amount of the energy released is equal to what? So energy of the product minus energy of the reactants, because of the mass conversion, because of the mass decay. So what, this amount of energy will be released. Next, so remaining 36, 37 questions, so 20, 38 questions, these are all repeated problems. 37, I think yesterday or day before yesterday only, same problem they have given, we got it. So next, all problems. So only 40 problems. So last problem. So, 2 bodies are in equilibrium when the suspended in water from the arms of a balance. The mass of one body is 36 gram and its density is 9 gram per centimeter cube. And if the mass of the other is 48 gram, its density is what? So 2 bodies are dropping. So 2 bodies are dropping in the water. Those are under balancing condition. So when both are under balancing condition, so what? So those buoyancy force are equal. Therefore now what? So under that condition, so what? 40 under buoyancy under floating condition. So what? That is M1G. So 1 minus what, that is equal to density of the water by, so density of the first one is equal to, so M2G into 1 minus rho water by rho 2, right? So where rho is what, is the density of the water, we can take the answer. Therefore now here, so M1 is given, and therefore now what? So G get cancelled, right? And after simplification you can get the answer. Therefore now what? So M1 given, M2 given, and the rho given. So they are asking what? Rho 2 is equal to how much? Simplify, so you will get the answer for that after completion of it. Okay, so next 41, 42, 43, so these are direct questions, and 45 also direct our material questions only. Okay, so these are the problems, and thank you all of you.